But I mean, of course, that's not normal. So I mean, past few days have been cloudy as it is. But even with that being said, so
Do y'all think we could sell T-shirts with JP's face on it and the quote, "Another dreary Saturday morning"?
that would be a Halloween costume of horror.
Another dreary Saturday morning. Well, JP, you're supposed to pump everybody up, get them
How am I supposed
excited.
to put me?
Happy morning, everybody.
I only got 5 hours of sleep last night.
Why? What are you up so late for every night? You're always
Well,
talking
that
about
was
I
my
never
own. That,
sleep
well,
and-
be
and
honest, that was my own fault. So,
Okay.
Well,
but still,
that made you had. That's not an
What was you
explanation.
doing? Watching a movie?
I was watching YouTube. Surprisingly,
There you go. There you go, JP. Just. I don't know what to say. Do you have breakfast?
I do have y'all's
You
breakfast.
do have our
How old
breakfast.
are you, JP?
31.
There you go. So
Okay.
at least you have our breakfast, and while you have our breakfast, we're gonna. Well, I'm gonna allow you to get up and start passing it out here in a second for Happy Saturday. We got McDonald's breakfast brought to you by McDonald's in Cherryville. For the folks in Cherryville, they are open right now. Anybody needing biscuits and needing to get out and it's been without power and problems here in Cherryville after the storm come through the other night. Get up there and see McDonald's and Mr. Kuth and the gang, and they'll hook you up. Happy Saturday, guys. We got a big day ahead of us. I was looking at my notes here. We got high school baseball, NCAA possible realignment, ACC breakup, PGA Tour tournament. We'll talk about the course and more with that. Major League Baseball season is in gear. NBA playoffs, NBA draft lottery. Zach, as always, Hornets are number 2.
Never fails.
I was
NASCAR
hearing about.
racing time, and hold on, and a couple of pro football tidbits. Go ahead, Tom.
I was listening to the number one.
Can't wait, Candy.
Who's the number one guys coming out of Europe this year?
Wimbiana.
Yeah.
France, yeah.
He's like 7'4" and he plays like a point guard.
Is
This what they're saying?
He's a French Bobo.
Okay.
That's all you need to know.
All right.
a
He's
French
not
Bobo.
been in the NBA yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they're saying that he can run the floor and handle the ball like a point guard, but he's 7'4".
Right. That's the best way as I can put it.
Okay.
He's a French Bobo instead of an African Bobo. I'm gonna show you a picture of him. Now you know who Mbappe is, right?
Yeah, I've heard it.
Mbappe, the soccer player
Yeah.
from France this year. The team you was pulling for.
I don't pull for France.
Well, this is I'm pulling up a picture of him, the international.
Unless they play England. I pull against I pull for anybody playing against England or the Netherlands. If England plays the Netherlands, I just don't watch.
If a few wars went the wrong way, Tom, you wouldn't be here because of the English, and here you are pulling for France.
Hey, there's plenty of Huguenots. There's plenty of Huguenots that helped found this country. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay. Tom just lost half his fans right there. This is a picture I'm pulling up for the folks. If you listen on the radio, this is you can watch the show every Saturday morning on YouTube. KTCBroadcasting.com for the link. Go to YouTube.com. Search the World Wide Web and YouTube channel for KTC Broadcasting. You'll pull us up live every Saturday. You can watch the replays whenever you want, whenever you can on all your devices and with an internet connection. But there's right now I'm showing the folks at home a picture of World Cup superstar Mbappe up to about the chest of future number 1 pick, and Zach, another guy that was is going to be one spot away from being a Charlotte Hornet. It went by, yeah. So there you go. There's a picture of him. We'll talk about that later. We're starting this morning off real quick with the we will watch JP for the folks at home pass out some good McDonald's breakfast, and so we're going to start real quick for your high school baseball updates. Tom, your Burns Bulldogs won last night, and they advanced to the regionals, which is now a series, right? So they'll play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Is that correct?
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yes,
Tuesday it'd be at Burns, Thursday at Moorhead, and Saturday back at Burns if necessary. Just got to tip your cap. Marshall McGowan came in there in the 3rd inning and shut them down. No more runs scored. Well, one more. Gave up 1 run in almost 5 innings. And then also the pitcher for West Oak, Smith, retired the first 10 batters. He had a perfect game. threw 10 batters, and then they touched him up a little in the fourth and then the sixth. Mm-hmm. And in the sixth inning, Burns had led off the inning with 3 hits and got got guys on first and second, then knocked another guy in and got 3 runs. So that their sixth inning, they went up 4-3, and they end up holding on. But just a great game, just a great high school baseball game between 2 great teams. West Oaks, a great team. I think they conducted themselves very well and played hard the whole game. And in the first inning, kid hit a bomb. Now, it doesn't take much to get out of Burns, but this was like way up in the trees. It had been out of a lot of stadiums. But just a great high school baseball game and a great crowd. Probably, the whole bank was full. I don't know what the head count is, but if you've ever been to Burns on the one bank side, it was full. Stands were full, people everywhere. So it was a great atmosphere for high school baseball. But congratulations to Coach Lenhart and his staff and his kids. They're moving on to the Western Regional Finals. First time since 2001.
Okay, what's their history, Tom? Burns' history? Have they ever won a state title?
They've never won a state title. They have been to the Western Finals once when Richard Howe coached them, to my knowledge. Now, somebody might want to correct me, but I know there's one banner up in the stadium, 2001, when Richard Howe was the coach. They went to the Western Finals. And now this is, I think it's the first time since 2001, so 22 years. So just a great season for Coach Lenhart and his guys, and they just find ways to win. I mean, they beat East Gaston 2-1. They beat Lincoln Charter 4-3. They beat West Oaks 4-3.
Well,
they find ways to win.
That's what I was about to point out here in the playoffs. That they've been pulling out some close ones and have some exciting games up in Lawndale. 2-run victory in the first round, by 1 in the second, by 1 in the third, and by 1 in the fourth. And most championship teams, Tom will tell you, you always need a little luck sometimes. And last night you got one off a kid leaving early at third. And then the big run come in the big 3-run inning in the next. I was about to text you need to bunt and break up that perfect game.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big call when they called him leaving early. I mean, I couldn't really tell. I mean, I got to watch the ball and then look back, and he's off a little bit. And you usually don't get that call. Mm-hmm. But to get that call in a playoff game, that's a tying run. If that run scores, it's a tie game and we're going to extra innings. So, I mean, that was just a huge call.
That guy's got to be positive on that one, don't he?
Yeah, 100%.
To make that,
in a 2-man,
yeah.
What they tell you is, especially on that one, because the ball's hit the right field. Mm-hmm. If it's hit the left field, okay, I can line everything up here. That ball's hit the right, so you've got to stay with the ball. You got to make sure he catches it. You got to make sure it doesn't fall. You got to make sure you got to catch. Yep. So you can't just turn your head as soon as the ball hits the glove, because what if it's down and now you don't know if it's transfer or not? So you've got to look, and then usually you're going to watch the glove, the hand reach in and see it, and then you look. And then what they tell you is, well, if he's a step and a half off, he probably tagged. If he's about 2 or 3 steps down the line, he probably left early. But I'm going to tell you, Zach, in that game, I don't know if I made that call. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because of where the ball was hit and where the runner was. I don't think he was, I don't think it was definitive, but we'll take it.
Somebody wouldn't have made that call on the road as the other if it was the other way around, maybe.
It was tough.
Might be in the home team.
Somebody might have video of it. Well, they play Moorhead, which is up above Winston-Salem near the Virginia line, and it's about a 2-hour drive or something, from 2.5-hour drive from Lawndale. It's not a short ride at all. But they'll play Tuesday and Thursday, right, Tom? Again. Mm-hmm. So I'll look at it. It's 2.5 hours from the radio station here in Cherryville. So that for wherever you're at, gauge your distance from there. If you're in Cleveland County, Gaston County area, listening to us this morning, thanks for all of you listening.
And when are the game times now coming up for Burns?
Probably be 7:00. It's not been officially announced.
With those longer rides, would they be possibly bumped up to 6?
They might. And then the Saturday game, if necessary, would be, you can play that whenever you want.
Right.
So I don't know.
Tell them, go ahead and schedule Saturday. You with me?
Yeah.
If they play 11 a.m., and then we'll do the show from the field at Burns High School, and so we'll just turn around and do the show. You and Terry can do the game, and I'll take pictures and videos, and Zach, and we'll enjoy the game Saturday morning.
I'm sure Alex Lenhart hopes that isn't necessary.
Right. Well, I'm sure Moorhead don't want to drive here at 8 a.m. Saturday morning and come. But for them, they could just listen to us preview them.
They could
on the bus.
They could
watch us.
They could.
Well, just set it up, Tom. Set it up. Have your guys call our guys.
Yeah. My machine will call your machine.
Cherville and Kings Mountain knocked out this week in the 1A and 3A. Congratulations to them. Cherville, of course, had to play a game after the day after the storm came through. The fence got knocked down. We talked about that a couple of days ago. I think I have a picture of it here somewhere that I can pull up for the folks at home. But yeah, the Ironman they follow, and Kings Mountain does too.
And don't get me wrong, I feel for all the people over here in Cherville because my son, he lives over here also, and I was coming over here to help him. But, I mean, you wouldn't believe that they call it, what is it, wind burst or whatever they call it. But would
straight line wind.
Yeah, straight line winds would do that much damage, you know, but unreal. And for all the people who are still without power today.
You know, if you guys saw the guy that got out at the Little League game to help. A good friend of mine said he got out of the car. He said the tree fell on him in front of him. He said, I was trying to see if it was okay. He said another tree fell on one of the other trees that fell on him, catapulted him up. Said he went up, they said, to the power lines, landed on his face. Pretty banged up. Lucky to be alive.
Yeah, they showed a picture of him. I saw it.
Lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
For the folks watching on, listen on the radio, showing a picture right now of the left field fence where it was blown over. That they did get it up and fix the time. If you've been through town, Zach, and I don't know, Terry, and if y'all have yet, so we didn't lose power here at all. Next door and everyone that way did for a while. If you go through town and see Zach, not everyone, but right in a pretty much what they're saying, that straight line, kind of it's diagonal through town really, but there's a straight line through town of giant oak trees that have been overturned. Any of the ones that have been trimmed are still standing. There are, if your giant oak trees have been trimmed, there's some in the parking lot over there at the mill. They're sitting there. They're across the street from four that are in a line that have been knocked over. If you go over there, I think it's 2nd Street, and they're just giant oaks are all pushed over, and then right there across the street, the ones that are trimmed that aren't. So, and maybe if you got giant oaks, you might want to trim them up for safety reasons.
Some biggest trees I've seen.
But these, the root systems across town. I mean, I just drove through yesterday. I probably saw 5 to 10 and I didn't go through every street and all around. I just went straight through the line because I was trying to get up. Excuse me, to the other side of town. But whatever they want to call it, it was obviously dangerous to push over all those oaks like that. It's not just like one or two. It's just, you know, if that was through any type of a neighborhood where a bunch of houses and stuff were through, I don't know what would happen. But
well, it usually when I was over on the way over here, I picked it up right when you cross the Lincoln into Gaston County line. Coming up 274.
I was about to say, when you come down that way, what did you see?
Yeah, it's when it's about them, right there at the beams on the right, all the way up.
Went and checked our old house, which is on 182, like you're going to Fallston, and it come through there too. She said there was some trees on top of houses, and a friend of ours, Hoy Colson, said that they were doing a band something up there in
concert,
and he said he got hit by some at least 1 inch hail.
Oh, okay.
So it come down, and like you said, it's still at that same track.
Well, I sat in Shelby City Park and I watched it. Like go from Lawndale to Cherville, watch the storm, and it didn't really do nothing near us. We had a 10-minute lightning delay where we could see it far off in distance, but nothing was ever close to us. All right, guys, that's our high school baseball coverage. We'll have Burns High School. We'll have coverage Tuesday for the folks. Thursday, not going up to Moorhead and making the trip. We will have radio coverage of that Thursday. Hopefully, Tom can put together a crew and make that happen. And just heads up there, Tommy. Hop on the charter bus.
Yeah.
We'll have coverage of that either way. KTC Broadcasting. We'll be back in a few minutes on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Kathy Moore, the new owner of Papa's Pizza to Go in Cherryville, invites you to come see them. They are now open 11 a.m. till 9 p.m., Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 10, Friday and Saturday nights. Dine in or take out at Papa's Pizza to Go. Just call 704-435-6335 and enjoy their big buffet on Wednesdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. until 7:30. It's all you can eat. Check out their new menu with pizza, subs, wings, salads, and more. And check out the new games, too, in the game room. Papa's Pizza to Go, 1002 East Main Street in Cherryville. Online at papaspizzatogo.com and like them on Facebook, too.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Pace truck hits the pit lane, gets out of the way, and they get ready for the green flag.
Heads up Highway 421.
Nick Sanchez outside row 1, Carson Hocebarro, and they're going to wad him up going into turn number 3.
For the return to North Wilkesboro.
Grant Enfinger to the line, and with the win as a checkered flag goes in the air.
It's the Tyson 250.
Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
The Lincoln Country Club has been challenging golfers since 1946 with tree-lined fairways, ponds, creeks, and sand bunkers. Select from 4 sets of tees to play from. Give them a call at 704-735-1382. Again, 704-735-1382. The Lincoln Country Club, 2052 Country Club Road in Lincoln. Visit their website at golflcc.com.
April is Credit Union Youth Month. Let's celebrate the spirit of the credit union movement and unleash the power of savings at Carolina Federal Credit Union in Cherryville. During April, Carolina Federal Credit Union is celebrating Youth Month in many ways, including depositing the first amount into youth savings accounts. Contact Carolina Federal Credit Union for more information or visit the website at carolinafcu.org/Youth Month. Carolina Federal Credit Union, 1200 East Church Street in Cherryville. Before you head out on vacation this year, give your vehicle the once-over at Butler's Tire and Auto Service in Kings Mountain. They'll check your vehicle from front to back to make sure you and your family have a safe and fun trip, and see them for all your tire needs. Buy a set of 4 tires at cost with an installation package with name brands like Cooper, Goodyear, Bridgestone, Michelin, Kelly, Pirelli, and Kook and more. That's Butler's Tire and Auto Service, 404 East King Street in Kings Mountain, right across from KFC. Online at butlerstireauto.com and like them on Facebook too.
At Coyote, we're going to treat you like dirt because we hold dirt in the highest regard. We're honored to find it under our fingernails, lucky to be caked in it at day's end. It keeps us humble, honest. Dirt gets taken for granted by most, but if you know us, you know getting treated like dirt means getting treated with respect. Coyote, we dig dirt.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, Highway 27 intersection west in Vale.
JP, you in there? I can't hear you.
We can't hear you,
either.
JP.
Is your mic on?
No, actually, it's not. Okay. And welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. Although, to be honest, that's kind of more a blessing for the people on the radio, don't you think?
He's Johnny on the spot, guys. He's Johnny on the spot. He's not the highest paid guy at the station for nothing.
Drury JP.
They fire me every week, but I always come back.
Yeah, they are fired. Just want to remind our listeners that Saturday Morning Sports Talk is brought to you by your local McDonald's. I had a bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffin today. Terry?
Sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin.
Sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin.
Sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. They like a little sweetness in their breakfast. JP, what'd you get?
I actually got 2 strawberry cream pies this morning.
I just
couldn't stop with one.
Well, I mean,
Gotta have
they're,
two.
they're not that big of a pie. I mean,
How do I?
Yeah, strawberry McFlurry for breakfast.
2 was probably cheaper than 1.
That's probably what it was.
Well,
yeah.
it's probably 2 for.
and to be honest, I mean, they're not that big. They're rather kind of small. So, I mean,
Well, that's a good nutritional assessment there, JP. The size of the food determines how long it will last. I don't know, JP. Some things can be small and have plenty of energy. You know, some things could be big, like if you eat a big rice cake, it might fill you up, but it doesn't have a lot of calories. You might be hungry again later.
I'm a pig. Deal with it.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought you were going to
Conference
say.
realignment is being talked about again. Loggers are in having meetings and talks, and Zach, you texted us yesterday, and so rumors are that the ACC could be splitting up, and don't know.
It looks like Duke, Carolina State, all 3 be in different conferences if it happened.
Possibly, depending on where everybody goes, and I think the winner, football wise, should be going. And I've been saying it for years, Terry. I think you guys should be at diehard pushing to get in the SEC.
That's where they were pushed. That's where they were thinking that they would go.
Whichever. I mean, in North Carolina, they're thinking basketball and all that other stuff too. You know, what are they thinking? Big Ten, is that what it was?
Big Ten for Tar Heels, SEC for states. What the rumor is, I can't remember where they said Duke was going because I can't stand Duke.
Well, let's give you just a quick update on. I'm going to try to read some of this story or go through it. College football expansion. 7 more ACC teams now exploring options. So it could be the end of the ACC. You keep adding teams, and then you get alignments, and then now that it ends up breaking up. 7 current ACC members: Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, Miami, NC State, Virginia Tech, have met in private. Obviously not, to determine how unbreakable the conference's current agreement is. So that's what I meant earlier when I said the lawyers are starting to meet about it.
Why are we doing this?
Money.
All football, probably.
SEC is, they added Texas and Oklahoma last year. Big Ten to include USC and UCLA. So if the Big Ten's adding them to the conference is signaling we're going to national size conferences. And then they're going to break up into 4 or 5 divisions. It's going to be like the NFC and AFC. So the NFC is going to have 4 divisions, or so the SEC is going to have 4 divisions of 4. What else you do with 16 teams? And then they're going to they'll still play 4 out of conference games.
It's too many teams.
12, 16 teams. If you're going to go that many, you better just play each other. 4 schools: Houston, BYU, Cincinnati, UCF, moved to the Big 12 already.
Why would Duke, Carolina State, and Wake want that to happen?
Money.
I understand every bit of that, but why? Why? I mean, I do not understand any of that.
Well,
I understand every bit of it. I don't understand any of it.
It's money.
That's all it's got to come down to.
Make more money in another conference. That's all this is about. I mean, it's capitalism. Capitalism has its sins, doesn't it? You break up traditional conferences to make more money, but that's what people do. I mean, it's just, it's a principle of economics, profit motive. Make as much money as possible.
ACC has looked into expanding with Oregon, Washington.
We don't need to expand.
Southern Methodist.
So we're going to have Oregon in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
And Washington.
Come on.
And West Virginia.
We've got 27 teams in the Big Ten.
Have teams that they've spoken to.
Can you imagine those trips?
But the money isn't there. It's again, like when we talk with high school, at some point you need to have separate, maybe conferences for football, maybe too.
Right.
Because it would be much better for all the teams in North Carolina and South Carolina, and so like in soccer and track and field, wouldn't it be better for them in saving money to be playing each other and traveling short bus trips, as opposed to every game, Oregon to North Carolina? Let's take our track and field team. Let's take our girls softball and lacrosse all the way to Oregon.
I don't even want to talk about all that. That's the same thing as the NFL going across the ocean or us going to Mexico and all that stuff. That, to me, that's bullcrap. That's all I'm going to say.
It's like having a NASCAR race at Watkins Glen, isn't it, Terry?
It is.
That's what I
Very
thought.
Coliseum.
One solution to the ACC's uncertainty is, what is Notre Dame going to do? Are they going to stay independent or jump ship? Full membership does not appear to be on the table after Notre Dame athletic director John Swarbrick was absent from the ACC's spring meeting. Not happening, he wrote. The notion that Irish will join the ACC was always unlikely. So they're just straight out saying it.
They should have never let them in if they wouldn't join anyway. But that's my opinion. I don't like them. I don't see why they have to be independent. Nobody should be independent anymore.
It should not be.
They thought they could entice them into getting in the conference at some point, and basically they're saying, no, it's not.
And then the only time Notre Dame was in the ACC, they almost won it. I mean, come on, you let them in. I mean, I don't. I got lots.
I was surprised when I seen it. I didn't know that this was happening. It popped across one of my news feeds. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
So this is the best fit for each team, according to this website. Athlon Sports, which conference each team should go to. Future bet for Clemson, Big Ten or SEC. Clemson and Florida State share a common X factor with their biggest rival push back on the entry into the SEC, meaning would South Carolina and Florida be against either one of those schools joining the SEC, because that they control the whole state, and that's what I've been saying and meant about NC State for a while. Is they haven't been competitive in the ACC in years in basketball and other sports. Why not jump there and get the money in SEC? Florida State, there's the same thing. Big Ten, SEC, Miami, Big Ten, getting into North Carolina, Big Ten or SEC, but Miami. Did Miami wasn't they in the Big Ten or Big East? That was in the Big East, right?
Yeah.
But if those Florida teams join the Big Ten, you're helping the Big Ten, because now I can play for a Big Ten school and come back to Florida a couple times. My folks can see me play.
Yep.
Why would they help the teams up north? Because when Florida has all those football players, I mean, I think them joining the Big Ten would help some of the Big Ten schools.
Yeah.
North
Carolina
fans, I'll read what it says about you. Big Ten or SEC. One look at the map shows why SEC covets North Carolina to go with the big-time brand and basketball credentials. The state is a missing piece in the geographic footprint of the conference as well as the SEC, I'll say. However, the Tar Heels want to leave the ACC, then the SEC will have company in its pursuit of North Carolina. The Big Ten would certainly have the Tar Heels near the top of its list, as the program would add a big-time brand in the southeastern area of the conference. I could see Duke and North Carolina going to Big Ten and State going SEC. I mean, that makes the most sense to me.
Because the basketball for one and football for the other.
Right.
But, I mean, I look at it like this. I understand the situation, but when you go basketball, the Big Ten type of basketball against the ACC type of basketball is totally different. I mean, you're going to end up having to go after more physical. I mean, I'll speak of this with the Big Ten. When you play in the Big Ten, you are got to be very physical, because that's how they ref. I mean, more stuff gets by in the Big Ten than any other conference. But now if you come back to it does. I'm not saying, I'm talking about being more aggressive underneath and nothing's called.
Holding and things like that.
Yeah, anything. But in the ACC, a lot of that stuff doesn't happen. So I think, in some of these situations, I don't know whether it's good or bad. I mean, are you going for basketball or you're going for football? You're going for one of them. Which one's the best going to affect your team in the long haul?
So they don't call things in a Big Ten game, but when you're playing Georgia in a bowl game, you're allowed to take somebody's head off and no call.
Well, I mean, every one of them's different.
That's just what I'm wondering. That's just what I'm wondering. So it looked like it was a pretty violent hit against our guy that should have changed the whole count. But I'm not going back to that. I'm not ripping that scab off right now.
If those teams depart, which is basically football reasons, Duke, Boston College, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Wake Forest, Pitt, and Syracuse will be left to figure out what they would do. Keeping themselves together and adding more teams, or just totally breaking up the ACC altogether and searching for other conferences as well. Like I said, I don't know. Duke and North Carolina might be whoever wants North Carolina. If they're smart, Duke and North Carolina would do some type of partnership to where you pay us extra to get both of us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So
whoever
out of the
pays us
original,
more gets both of us.
Only two teams would be left out of the original.
Sitting there in the ACC,
Duke and Wake.
I'm saying ACC is there. It's about to be over, Terry.
That to me, that's a shame.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just being honest. That's absolute shame. If you're going to do that, then hey, State, Carolina don't need to play each other. State goes to the SEC, Carolina goes to the Big Ten. Why do you play each other? There's no use. Yeah. Why go play them?
But doesn't the ACC have like an ACC network and all this stuff?
They do.
I just don't understand why.
They
do. It just doesn't
Tom,
make
have you ever turned into a Duke and Wake Forest football game?
Not lately.
Yeah. Neither is Duke or Wake Forest fans.
Yeah, but have you ever turned to a Missouri Vanderbilt football game?
A lot of it's just.
Have you ever watched a Northwestern Indiana game?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean every conference has those games, Kevin.
Yeah.
I just hate they're doing this. This is like our childhood,
Well, the thing that gets me is this, and I don't know what the money is, but somewhere along the line, the money has to be equal and fair. If the Big Ten can do it and have lots of money coming in, and the SC can do it, then the AC should be able to do it because the Pac-12 does it. I mean, don't quote. I got the Pac-12, I got the Big 12, I got the ACC network, I got the Big 10 network. I got all of them networks, and I can flip when I want to watch something. And I do not flip to watch a Northwestern Indiana basketball game. I mean,
or football game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to do that unless that's the only thing on, But somewhere along the line, how come they can draw in so much money, but the ACC cannot? So there's a problem there. You go figure that out, because it should be equal. The ACC has a strong, especially basketball-wise. I mean, why is the money not the same?
Football. That's all it is.
Yeah, football is the draw. So
then
football.
you got some
I mean,
networks pumping up.
Duke's your biggest, your second. They bring the second most money, and they only have 9,000 seats in their stadium in basketball. So as a football stadium, the football stadium still sells more seats than the basketball program. They can be terrible year after year after year, and they still sell more seats and make more money. And so it's all about the football. So here's why. I'm gonna read these names out to you: Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, Florida State, Alabama, Auburn, Alabama, Florida, LSU, Florida, Texas, Southern Cal, LSU, Southern Cal, Ohio State, Miami, Oklahoma, Florida State. The last 23 national champions. You got Clemson mixed in there and some Florida State, but a lot of non-ACC schools. Before that, Nebraska, Florida State, Alabama, Washington, Colorado, Georgia Tech with a half national championship, Miami before they were in the ACC, Notre Dame, Miami, Penn State, Oklahoma, Brigham Young. That's it, Terry. Flat out. Got to be in one of those conferences to make the money and compete for national championships. Apparently, that's what they're looking at. All right, we'll be back. Any other comments, thoughts, suggestions before I go on that?
Well, I think Zach's right. A lot of people in here are going to lose their childhood. Gone are the days where they rolled the TV in the gym and you watched the 8 teams in the ACC tournament.
You got to do it. Yeah, it was awesome.
All right, we come back. We'll talk about the PGA Championship at Oak Hill on KDCBroadcasting.com.
Register your dad in this year's KGC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Father's Day giveaway. Some lucky dad will win a $500 shopping spree at one of our local merchants. Register today at Love's Fish Box on the Shelby Road, Kings Mountain, at Kurt's Premium Outlet in East Ridge Mall, Gastonia, at Hometown Hardware on South Railroad Avenue in Kings Mountain, at Cummings Furniture on Highway 74 West in Shelby, at the Firestone Grill on West Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, at Full Throttle Power Sports on Indian Walk and Lowell, at All Carry Insurance Agency on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at Wild Birds Unlimited in Franklin Square, Gastonia, at Parker Farm Service on Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain, and at Cleveland Lumber Company on Arrowwood Street in Shelby. The drawing will be held Friday, June 16th. Register your dad today. He could be our $500 Father's Day shopping spree winner.
The all-new Yamaha Grizzly 90 is built to bring maximum fun and off-road excitement to youth ATV riders aged 10 and older. With its low-maintenance 90cc engine, an easy-to-use, full automatic CVT transmission with reverse, electric start, and durable proven components, the all-new Grizzly 90 offers confidence-inspiring performance with Grizzly family style. Visit Full Throttle Power Sports to see the all-new Yamaha Grizzly 90 at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell.
This is the month to get your new Ford F-150 truck. Yep, the one you've been dreaming of from Classic Ford of Shelby. This month, buy your new 2023 Ford F-150 truck and get 3.9% APR financing plus $1,000 bonus cash. And get the same deal, 3.9% financing on the new Ford 2023 Ford Explorer plus $1,000 bonus cash. Plus, get free maintenance on all 2023 models and make no payment for 90 days. Check out the big selection of great-looking pre-owned vehicles, too. Classic Ford of Shelby, 1775 East Dixon Boulevard. Online at ClassicFordofShelby.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
Paige Bias of East Lincoln High School is this month's McDonald's, KTC Broadcasting, WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete of the Month. Paige is the daughter of Ann and Mark Bias of Stanley. She is captain of the swimming team and also plays tennis. She has a 4.14 grade point average. Her advanced courses include calculus, literature, and government. She is also studying private, pilot, ground, and introduction to aviation at Elizabeth City State University. Her extracurricular activities include Girl Scouts, where she has won the bronze and silver awards, the Beta Club, the National Technical Honor Society, FAA Aviation Workforce, and is an NC State satellite campus student. Paige is a member of the Lake Forest Church, where she is a summer camp counselor. She is also involved in Christian ministries and is the manager of the local community pool. After graduation, Paige plans to get a degree in aviation with a minor in aviation management. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting and What'sUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship.
Before you head out on vacation this year, give your vehicle the once-over at Butler's Tire and Auto Service in Kings Mountain. They'll check your vehicle from front to back to make sure you and your family have a safe and fun trip, and see them for all your tire needs. Buy a set of 4 tires at cost with an installation package with name brands like Cooper, Goodyear, Bridgestone, Michelin, Kelly, Pirelli, and Kook and more. That's Butler's Tire and Auto Service, 404 East King Street in Kings Mountain, right across from KFC. Online at butlerstireauto.com and like them on Facebook too. The Frog Togs are multiplying. Not that kind of frog. Frog Togs. Shoes from the great outdoors in Cherryville. And be sure to check in the back with Mark. You'll find the new Wraith Mini 216 XM35 Sight Mark thermal scopes for $19.99. Also, Leopold and Zerotech Thrive HD binoculars. And check out the Burroughs 312 56 30mm tube illuminated rectangle scopes for only $299.99. That's the Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville. Online at teamgreatoutdoors.com. Like them on Facebook too.
And we're back. Sorry. Was doing a curbside order for pickup. So.
Hastings, Tom Senafani, Terry Reinhardt, Zach Mayu. PGA Tour Championship is in progress. Round 3 right now. Leaderboard, Victor Hovland, Corey Connors, Scotty Scheffler tied for first at 5 under. They tee off this afternoon, 240, 250, all with 67s and 68s in round 1 and 2. DeChambeau is actually playing with Koepka today. They put them in their groups. So there should be fireworks today. A lot of ratings today for those two that particularly aren't fans of each other. Justin Sue at -3 too. Caleb Taryn is at -2 with Brooks Koepka. Justin Rose and Pendrith at -1. Right up your top 9. Tied for 10th on down. There's a bunch of guys at even. Keegan Bradley, Matt Neesmith, Roy McIlroy, Shane Lowry, Min Woo Lee, Adam Svensson, Keith Mitchell, Sepp Straka, Michael Block, and that's it for everyone even. So 18 people even or better within 5 strokes of the lead with 2 days to go here. And the players, Terry, are not happy with the golf course.
I hate it for them. I do. This is, to me, what a championship should be. When everybody has a hard time.
Yeah, not going out and shooting 25 under on
that's
4
exactly
days.
Right.
They haven't been thrilled with it.
To let you have to come out and use your skills to differentiate you if you get in a bad spot.
Well, I mean, the other day they got out there and they were trying to get the frost off of the turf and all this stuff as they go around the field. But the thing that got me about it, they was like, if it's early, you're going to have a better shot than the guys that come out late.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and y'all know more about golf than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the biggest difference there?
Because in the mornings the ground's softer with the moisture,
so
you can stick it.
Mm-hmm,
so like if I want to, if the 4 irons and the 5 irons these guys hit from 2 and 230, 232. Well, Rahm hit a 6 iron like 260 yesterday. Just absurd. That's absurd.
6 iron.
Yeah. So, and Terry, so on the par 3s they'll stick. So or when you're coming in from long distance, the lower irons, so 5 iron, 4 iron, 3 iron, anything lower than that will stick better on the greens and not go off the green. So the guys in the mornings will have a better chance of staying on the green in the guys afternoon. So when it gets harder and the moisture comes out in the afternoon, it's going to bounce off that green instead. So that's the issue, because if you're hitting, like we were talking, like at the Masters or whatever, you're hitting 7 iron pitching wedges into the green, it don't matter that much. But once you're hitting 5 irons and 4 irons and the long irons into the greens, and there's a big difference between really soft and not soft. And those hard greens, you just feel like you can't do nothing. And if you can't chip and you don't like chipping, those guys, in the grass this week. I'm gonna pull it up. The rough.
That's why I always remember them doing U.S. Open.
They
and
had
stuff.
it at 6 inches, and they had to cut it back to 4 because it was so thick. So they had to cut 2 inches off, and they're still complaining about it. I'm gonna pull up some pictures here in a second.
They're professionals. Get out there and
that's it.
hit it where you're supposed to.
I mean, I can't shoot 30 under this week, so I'm mad. I mean,
yeah.
So I don't like tournaments like that. I mean,
how many times we watch a U.S. Open where the winner was 1 under?
Yeah, every shot you take means something here.
Or wait till they go over and do the British Open. Wind blowing like crazy.
Where are they playing the British Open this year? Do you even know?
I
haven't
know.
Looked.
Britain.
Yeah, great answer.
That's all I got.
They're playing in Germany. Yeah.
Tom, if you asked me that on a question, I would have got it right on in your school test.
Correct.
The bets. Sorry. Let's see. Those were bets from a few days ago. I thought that was updated. Let's see. 17th. No. Trying to find some pictures or videos of these guys in the course. Let me type in PGA rough. But anyway,
there's the man.
Well, there's John Daly. He's not. He's not in competition this week. Zach.
Tiger's not playing either, is he?
No,
I don't think so.
No, this course is too hard for Tiger. I guess he's still hurt, isn't he, Terry?
He should be.
Are those LIV guys playing?
Yes.
Yeah,
Koepka's with it. Dustin Johnson was in there, was tied for the lead somewhere at some point. I guess he fell off. What is his name? Yeah, he's back to +1. He was the lead after the first day.
He plays like that. You have one good day and he'll be terrible the next.
Phil playing?
Yes. You want to know where Mickelson is? Mickelson. Oh, local Harold Varner is at +1 from Gastonia, Forest View grad. Mickelson must not be doing too well because I'm not finding him. He's down near the bottom time at +5.
That's a shame.
Not a fan of Phil Mickelson or Tiger. Is there anyone you like on the golf course, Tom?
Not really.
That's the reason we don't let you talk when golf comes on.
Not really. That's okay.
I'm trying. Hole 6, Terry, they're talking about is a 500-yard par 4. And the guys, I think Rom said it's the hardest course they've ever played. There's only been like 12 birdies on it this week. And of course, I see nothing but.
See, that's to me, that's a challenge. I mean, that should make you want to do good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, that's just how I look at it. And then for everybody to complain, and I mean, come on, quit.
I thought I had liked one of those tweets so I could show you the course layout of it. I can't find it now, so I was trying to show you where Rom was complaining about it and having the issues. But all right, so any favorites on that, guys?
No, because I don't even know the guy who's in front.
Victor Hovland.
Yeah,
let's go with Mr. Varner.
I watched. My buddy called me up the other night.
DeChambeau's 2 shots off the leader, and Koepka's 3 shots.
DeChambeau. Anyway, my buddy called me up. He said he was enjoying it. He's a golfer. He plays a couple times a week. He's enjoying it because he said at least people aren't coming out here and shooting 10 under.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And make it a challenge.
This is my type of tournament here.
He told me he was watching it and this. He goes, I enjoy this. I don't enjoy watching them go out there and just burn up the course. It's not really a major championship if the course is too easy. Yeah. So I agree with that.
Trying to find something. Y'all could continue instead of staring.
Okay, well, we just didn't know. I mean, sometimes
I thought you was transitioning.
Sometimes I speak and I'm told I've spoken too long.
We'll do this.
Ask Terry.
We'll do this.
If you can.
Yeah, I like that part of it.
I just asked Terry.
That's right.
that actually happened in the North Carolina General Assembly. I'm not going to go through the whole story, but there was one member of the House who was saying something stupid that he regrets. I won't say what he said. You guys can look it up. But the speaker said, "Okay, you're done," and muted him, or something to that effect.
I want to show you how thick the rough is. How about that one? I finally found a decent shot of it there at the PGA Tour.
Man,
you wouldn't even be able to find
that bunker would be.
I was trying to find. There's a video of a guy hitting a 3-wood trying to hit in the practice rounds and they were testing like what they could hit, and he hit it like 15 feet in front of you. I'm like, buddy, you better get to 7-iron out and hack that joker back in the
just get it back and play.
That's all. Yeah.
I mean, you're not.
That's what they don't like. Is
Hey.
barely because they like to tee it up, Tom, and hit it 350 yards. And it still be in the rough and still have a shot at the green.
Yeah.
That's when you play these guys at the courses that think they're good, and that's what they do is they just hit it 300 yards, but they miss the fairway and they're in another fairway, and then they get scored the same score you do, and you hit it right down the middle.
I wish my lawn looked like that rough.
I know.
I take it, man.
No lie.
Wish my lawn looked like
There's
that.
Dustin Johnson coming out of a bunker there, but you can see just how just incredibly just dark and green and thick that rough.
Where is this course?
Oak Hill, New York.
New York.
Upstate New York.
And they said they had frost?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And playing
round 1 was delayed 1 hour and 50 minutes. I don't know why I just didn't do 2 hours, but it was
For
1 hour
frost?
and 50 minutes. Yes, so they had
In
a
mid-May?
frost delay, the PGA Tour.
when we played that on when I used to play that on Tiger Woods, that I hated that course on that game. I hated the layout. Couldn't do anything on that course.
Here, I'll type in. Let's see if I get a good frost.
Guess the playing season's not real long up there, right? Opens up May, closes up in July. Got to have an August frost. Got to shut this thing down.
Here's your picture of the morning frost that they had, and they had the guys out there with leaf blowers and stuff.
Just had some weird weather.
Yeah.
All that is just weird.
That and spraying it off with water.
Yeah.
All kind of stuff.
PGA Tour. All right, check it out this weekend. All right, guys, when we come back, let's see. I got to check my notes because I was trying to go through as many things before Thomas leaves this morning and checks out on us. We got Major League Baseball, NBA, NASCAR, and a little pro football coming up on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Kathy Moore, the new owner of Papa's Pizza to Go in Cherryville, invites you to come see them. They are now open 11 a.m. till 9 p.m., Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 10, Friday and Saturday nights. Dine in or take out at Papa's Pizza to Go. Just call 704-435-6335 and enjoy their big buffet on Wednesdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. until 7:30. It's all you can eat. Check out their new menu with pizza, subs, wings, salads, and more. And check out the new games, too, in the game room. Papa's Pizza to Go, 1002 East Main Street in Cherryville. Online at papaspizzatogo.com and like them on Facebook, too. A gas leak can be a killer. Just a small pinhole in a gas line put together with a small spark, and the unthinkable can happen. Now you can get a whole home gas line inspection by calling Today's Pro in Shelby. They'll be more than happy to come out and detect any gas leak that could lead to a disaster for your home. And with summer around the corner, see Today's Pro in Shelby for your pool supplies. And yes, they do pool water tests. And they can fill your propane tanks. Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Call 704-600-8393. Online at todayspro.com. Like them on Facebook, too. The Frog Togs are multiplying. Not that kind of frog. Frog Togs. Shoes from the great outdoors in Cherryville. And be sure to check in the back with Mark. You'll find the new Wraith Mini 216 XM35 Sight Mark thermal scopes for $19.99. Also, Leopold and Zerotech Thrive HD binoculars. And check out the Burroughs 312 56 30mm tube illuminated rectangle scopes for only $299.99. That's the Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville. Online at teamgreatoutdoors.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
For over 60 years, Boyd Tire and Appliance has been serving the Clover and surrounding area with the finest quality of home appliances, televisions, lawn equipment and parts, tires, and more. They feature in-house financing with 90 days same as cash, and they service what they sell. Drop by their showroom at 110 North Main Street in Clover, open 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. Call 803-222-3231 for Boyd Tire and Appliance and Boyd Lawn and Garden. Online at BoydTireandAppliance.com.
Why battle that yard of yours when you can sit back and relax with one phone call to Bean Brothers Landscaping? Why, they do it all. You'll get a professional landscaping job with Bean Brothers Landscaping. And check out their huge mulch yard. Also pine needles, leaf compost, sand, gravel, field dirt, and more. Just relax. Call Bean Brothers Landscaping and have your lawn looking the best ever. Just call 704-735-7129. Online at beanbrotherslandscaping.com and like them on Facebook, too.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. The electrical panel is the heart of your home's electrical system. Malfunctions can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk or in the dark altogether. Fixing it quickly will help keep you and your family safe. So trust our team of electrical experts at Mr. Sparky to get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back, one local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang.
Good morning, JP.
We want to remind our listeners about McDonald's in Cherville.
Go by in Cherville. You hungry right now? Power's been out. Or if your power has been on, they still got breakfast, lunch, and dinner at McDonald's in Cherville. I had to go by there last night after Tom's internet didn't work, and I missed my family dinner. Tom.
I know. I come through town last night, and your call was here. I was like, what's Kevin doing here?
I missed my family dinner.
It's pretty late.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry the internet didn't work.
It's like 9 o'clock. Tom, we had Tanner up there tweeting scores, and he couldn't get the scores tweeted out because the signal too as well.
Really?
So it was not just our machine as it was opposed to the Verizon wireless signal. So I'll just put it at that.
That's why I said peace out to them. Let me see.
Here, Tom.
There it goes. There it goes. Well, dang, I liked it better.
I bet you did, Terry. Well, there's a lot of people that don't want to be educated.
The last 10 seconds.
There's a lot of people don't want to be educated. You're amongst them. But just the signal's not good here. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why. It's just not good here. So hopefully they get to work on that. So.
Well, we got a couple different plans for Tuesday, and then also going on the road. We'll take care of that. So hopefully we won't have that issue going forward. All right. Next up on my agenda is a little baseball. I got some fun tweets and information on that. What Terry's Royals are doing good, right?
Well, we have won a few.
Yeah.
Here lately.
Have y'all got to 10 now?
Hey, oh yeah. We're well over 10 now.
I know last week it was, 8, 7?
I can't remember. I don't know whether we won last night, but we had 14. Last time I checked.
Oh, wow. Y'all on a roll then.
That's what I'm saying. Look out.
14 and 32, Terry.
There you go. We lost last night.
The A's are 10.
What's the last 10?
10 and 36.
We've opened it up.
Last 10.
4 and 6.
Okay. So that means we lost to Chicago last night?
They're hot.
Maybe they had 10 wins last week and they hit that 4 because I was thinking they were right.
You're kidding me. The team that's in front of us, we can't even beat them.
No, that sounds about right, Terry. A few some fun in MLB stats for you. How about this one? I don't know what it means. Pitches over 98 miles per hour. The White Sox lead baseball with 390. Cincinnati with 365.
Hey.
St. Louis is third with 356. Kansas City's fifth.
Yeah.
With 317.
That's on count of Chapman.
Dead last. Listen to this. 7 pitches from the Colorado Rockies over 98 miles per hour this year.
Well, if we wouldn't have Chapman, we wouldn't even be worried about it.
How can you not be throwing over 98 in that thin air? Shouldn't it be going faster up there anyway?
Oh, no.
7. They got a bunch of rag arms up in Denver right now.
Hey, look, there's Boston with only 14, though. And Mets right there with 25.
Yep, those are your lowest number of pitches. Cleveland about in the middle, 124.
Yeah. Chapman threw one the other day, 103.8.
Is that all?
Ooh. Yeah.
I don't even. Do you have to swing as soon as he lets go?
Goodness
Holy
gracious.
mackerel.
I mean, you got to do that. You got to do that at 95.
He's set the record for Kansas City with the fastest bus. I mean, he tied somebody else that's thrown 103.8 this year also.
Oh, real quick, Terry, we forgot about this. How about the PGA Tour, the local pro, the golf course pro, scoring average round in 1 and 2 or 75.5. If the pro gets through 36 holes at even par with a cold shank, his last club pro to finish in the top 20 was 1988. So, guys, it's been 35 years, roughly, since a local pro has made the top 20. He was even after 36 holes. So that's big news there. The guy who's wearing a little hoodie and just playing his course, they were talking about he was in such a rhythm. Terry was hitting his drives and didn't even look at them because he knew where they were. Because it's his course. He had hit it. And I said, never showed. He'll whack and just walk to his bag and take off. So he's in a rhythm, guys. So that if you're pulling for anybody, Michael Block. Look for Michael Block in the PGA. He's the course pro. See if he can pull off the victory this weekend. Whatever he's doing is a great story.
Mm-hmm.
Win since 1998, Terry. You want to see this one?
That's what I was getting ready to say. There we are. I knew that.
And that includes a World Series season.
That's exactly right. And the runner-up.
He's been in 2 World Series. And they got the least number of wins in baseball.
Now go through all them teams above us who have not been there since we've been there.
Well, about everybody. Pittsburgh is next to last, and the Orioles next to last to them. And then Miami, speaking of world championships, they've been to a few since 98.
Another one load up and win it and then get rid of everybody.
Top 5 most wins in baseball since 1998. The Yankees, Dodgers, Cardinals, Red Sox, and Atlanta Braves. Cleveland in 7th. Tom, nothing to show for it.
Yeah, they got the one World Series appearance back in 2016 and blew that, even though they had Charlie Sheen there. Maybe they should have called to the bullpen, let him come in here and pitch.
So Zach,
Tom, you got a lot of teams that you pull for, never even seen hardly anything.
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, how long ago has it been since y'all won a World Series?
1948, Terry.
Okay, that's what I was wanting.
All right, Tom. It's been since 1983 since his college team won anything.
I know.
It's been since 1995 since his
football team won.
I know. And his baseball team has the least number of wins in the last 25 years.
And his basketball team's down 2-0 to the 8th seed Miami. And he still runs his mouth.
He's still over talking. Just a talking. Let's see if I had another. I thought I had another baseball one. Maybe not. That was make fun of Terry. There's Jeff Bodine. This one. I want to show y'all this one. How about Baltimore Orioles? Jeff Jones, you listening. Every time the Orioles get an extra base hit, Tom, have you seen this? The bird bath?
No. Oh, gosh.
Bird bath cam. In the corner, they got a group of fans.
Anytime they get a
it's
home
called
run?
Extra base hit. It's called the bird bath, and every time they get a hit, they get hosed down by one of the grounds crew members in the stands.
No.
That's what baseball's about right there, fellas. So every time they get it, I'm going to get a better shot of it.
Was that a duck? That was a home run.
That was a ground rule double, I think.
Okay. I thought it was a ground rule double.
So there's Mr. Splash in the hose. And if you're in the bird bath, Terry, would you like to go to a Baltimore game? And it's got to be awesome in June, don't it?
Well, I'm going to be honest. If that was me, I'd probably end up with them seats and not knowing this is going to happen. You know? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, what is this?
Why you're sitting there? Why does everybody have ponchos on? It's 98 degrees and sunny.
Yeah.
But seriously, midsummer, Tom, 98 degrees, no shirt on, you're full of beers. Will these not be the best seats in the house? You're getting hosed off every time you get a double?
That one guy couldn't even put his on. He just said, it won't even fit.
I'd be begging for the hose every time somebody got on base. I can't wait for a double.
It's
hot out here.
That's a home run there, not a double.
I've been to that stadium one time.
I'm just saying extra base hit.
Pretty cool. Little stadium with if you hit a home run, got the big building behind it. Back there, you can pretty much hit the building if you hit it. Crush it.
All right, Zach, your favorite player, Ken Griffey Jr., has dropped from the ranks of all-time greats. Have you heard this story?
Oh, my gosh.
Just last night, breaking news, Mike Trout has passed Ken Griffey Jr. in WAR. How you feel about that?
WAR don't register.
I'm going to show you. WAR is it is a perfect science. So let's go through the stats real quick. Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Trout. Last night he passed him. This is all they were talking about. Is how great Mike Trout was, and we're going to compare the two. Now Trout has played 13 seasons, Terry and Tom. Okay, keep that in mind. Ken Griffey Jr. played 13 seasons in Seattle. So we're just going to do the seasons in Seattle. And this WAR is career WAR. So this means in Mike Trout's career, he produced more wins than the average baseball player, according to whatever this means, than Ken Griffey Jr. Now, just looking at the stats, Mike Trout. Write these down, Zach. What, you got a piece of paper? In his career, 360 home runs, 302, 1,083 RBI. Runs. Sorry, 1,083 runs. 919 RBI. 1,589 hits. And there are your folks at home can't see that. Mike Trout stats. Sorry, folks. I was looking at the page on the other screen. All right, you got those, Zach? Mm-hmm. Now we're just going to look at King Griffey Jr.'s in Seattle numbers. 1 to there. Now, Zach, King Griffey Jr. in Seattle, 1,063 runs. How many runs has Mike Trout got?
1,083.
So 20 more runs. Hits, King Griffey Jr., 1,742.
1,589.
So King Griffey Jr. has 200 more hits than Mike Trout. 150 more hits than Mike Trout. Doubles, how many's Mike Trout got?
Didn't have that.
Oh, I didn't tell you. 320 for King Griffey Jr. Doubles for Mike Trout, 306. King Griffey Jr.'s got more doubles. Home runs, 398 for King Griffey Jr.
Did we not write home runs down for him? Oh, 360.
So more home runs. RBIs for Mike Trout.
919.
1,100 for King Griffey Jr. Batting average, 299, King Griffey Jr.
302.
So everything is even or Griffey better than in all of those.
Not counting the defense. Hold
on. The 9 gold gloves,
yes,
or whatever it was, and while he was there. Now, besides that, strikeouts. Mike Trout struck out 1,404 times. Write that one down. Look at King Griffey Jr. strikeout. 984. 984. Now let's look. We can go through some seasons. 40 home run seasons. King Griffey Jr. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in Seattle. Mike Trout 40 home run seasons. 1, 2, 3. RBI seasons. Mike Trout over 100. 1, 2, 3. King Griffey Jr. RBI seasons over 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But last night, Terry, according to WAR, Mike Trout passed him as a greater baseball player with no playoff victories, no playoff wins, no nothing.
Has he got any gold gloves at all?
No gold gloves. No, he's terrible.
Is he like Jose Canseco with the ball bouncing off his head?
So playoff batting, I can go down here to that while we're sitting here, and y'all know his. If I can find it, I might not be able to find it. Anyway, there's King Griffey Jr. I did find it earlier where the playoffs was. This was interesting though, guys. All right, postseason batting. King Griffey Jr. only made the postseason 3 times in his career. So these outfielders, and wait till I show you Bonds, you're gonna be surprised about him too. These outfielders aren't worth that much. He made it in 95, Tom. He had 5 home runs in the division series against the New York Yankees in 5 games.
He hated the Yankees too, by the way.
And then the Cleveland Indians shut him down. He only had 1 home run. He batted .333 though. 2 doubles, 7 hits in 21 at-bats against the Indians, but lost in 6 games to Cleveland in the 95 playoffs.
When, Cleveland got beat by Atlanta in the series.
Mm-hmm. Then Griffey played one more time in Seattle in 1997, losing in the first round to Baltimore with no home runs. Never made the playoffs in Cincinnati, and made the playoffs 1 time as a Chicago White Sox. So, looking at that, I think that those things are really interesting. Postseason, Mike Trout's made it 1 time in his career where he went 1 for 12 with a home run.
If Griffey was,
but WAR, Tom and Terry and Zach says that everything that I just read you says that guy's better than him on the 10 percentage points. I guess he made on what was it? He had more than. It was hits,
runs.
He had a few more runs.
So somebody knocked him in.
He had 500 more strikeouts, almost double the number of strikeouts as Griffey, and that's what these advanced stats.
If
say.
Griffey would played for the Yankees, it would be ridiculous what he'd be looked at as.
Real quick before I let Terry comment, how about Barry Bonds? Real quick, postseason guys. Postseason batting. Where did that go? 3 times in Pittsburgh, he made the playoffs. Lost in Game 6, Game 7, Game 7 to Cincinnati, Atlanta, and Atlanta. 5 years later in San Francisco, he makes the playoffs in 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Lost in the first round to Florida. Lost in the first round to the Mets. Beat the Braves and Cardinals to make the World Series, where he lost to the Anaheim Angels. And then he lost in 2003 the following year to the Florida Marlins. Barry Bonds had 9 home runs in 151 at-bats, batting .245 in the playoffs. Terry, after seeing in time, y'all remembering that 98 or the 2003 season where he hit everything that was thrown near the plate.
Yeah.
And then you tell somebody he batted .245 career in the playoffs. Is that not just hard to imagine?
It was the Pittsburgh years killed him.
167, 148, 261, 2. He never hit over. He hit 400. He hit over 300 one time in a series, and that was the World Series. So the only time, and he had 4 home runs. He had 9 home runs total in his career in the playoffs, and 4 of them came in the World Series that he lost. And Tom, see if he knows the answer. Who is catching for the Anaheim Angels when they beat the San Francisco Giants?
Who was catching for the Anaheim Angels?
Mm-hmm. It was.
I started to say Pudge, but he was Texas.
It was a Molina.
Oh, it was.
Got his brother.
Who was catching for the San Francisco Giants when they won the World Series after Bonds retired? It was a Molina. The Molina brothers are the key to the World Series, not these sorry outfielders. But anyway, Zach, what do you think about Terry, Mike Trout in the WAR? Better Ken Griffey Jr. after looking at all that.
I'd like to know how do you come up with that?
That's what I'm saying. What mathematical formula? Am I reading that wrong?
There's something about the WAR I don't understand. And when you can say that, and he leads in every category almost than the other guy.
And the other one, somebody had to knock you in on runs, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what gets me. What makes that? Why did that change?
It overvalues on-base percentage and runs scored. It devalues RBIs.
They got to have it modified.
They hate RBIs. They say runs is important because you scored it, but if you knock someone else in, you're helped by a teammate.
Well, how about your defense to keep them from scoring when you're...
Because some people on there...
The only time you ever score without a teammate is hitting a home run.
How about you catching the ball when somebody hit a home run over the fence? You just saved a run with Griffey climbing the wall or whatever.
But I just thought that you guys would find that interesting.
Some of them have in their contracts, as long as I have 100 RBIs a season, I get a bonus. I don't understand any of that.
I'm still salty at the guy that whoever the idiot was that didn't vote him in for the Hall of Fame for 100% vote.
Griffey.
Yes. Should be never get to vote ever in his whole freaking life again.
Well, Major League Baseball standings, Tampa's in first up by 3.5 on Baltimore. Yankees third, Boston and Blue Jays fourth. The Central is still in order with the American League. They have not caught the bottom of the American League East yet, Tommy. You guys are
terrible.
You guys are in 8th. Kansas City's in 10th.
Terrible.
Okay.
In a 10-team division.
Yeah.
Look, it's in order. That's just so fun. For folks at home, if you look at the standings, the East and Central go in complete order. But Cleveland is 3.5 games out of first, Tom.
Yeah, they're down a couple starting pitchers. Hopefully, when they get those back, they'll be okay.
Texas in first. Houston is on their heels at 2 games out, and the Angels 4 games out right now, hovering above 2 games over 500. Braves 5.5 up on the Marlins, 28-16. Listen to Braves baseball here on KTC Broadcasting. Miami and the Mets. Mets are 500. Phillies and Washington under 500. Central, Pirates, and Milwaukee tied for first. Everyone else under 500.
How about them Pirates still back up? Or they fell behind Milwaukee there, and now they've caught them.
Tied.
Well, did you see Contreras messing with the pitcher and the pitch count this week? He's talking about some funky pitching stuff. Did you see Contreras, guys? What he was doing, stepping in and out on the guy. The guy, I can't remember the guy's name, but he does some funky stuff on the mound. So Contreras was waiting. He was just keeping his foot out of the box as long as he could, and the guy wasn't looking up at him, Terry. And he would just start doing his funky stuff, Contreras just sitting there with his bat on his shoulder, and the umpire called time 4 times. He got called on pitches between Contreras and the next batter. He got one on the next batter on the first pitch. And 2 times it was for being too late. The next time it was being too early, and the guy could not figure out what he was doing. And he's like, you're not looking up at the runners. He would just see them standing there with the bat, and he would just start his motion without looking up at them. And then he got called 4 times on it. And so they was asking about that. And
it's going to be an adjustment. It's going to be an adjustment to that rule. It's going to take a while.
Yeah. They'll fine tune it, I think, here and there.
It's going to take a while.
The whole looking at each other thing is I said was going to be cause some issues. It's just a weird. But you got to look at somebody by a certain time, and now the umpire's worrying about all kinds of things.
Especially with the way that these guys got their routines. Mm-hmm. Yeah, almost like the gorilla arm you was talking about, Tom. People got up there, they got used to that. They got to get untrained.
They were also
not do that.
They were also letting the pitcher. You're not allowed to wind up if you're in the set position. If your foot's parallel to the rubber, it's supposed to be at an angle somewhat, and they were letting him do it all night. And Richard Howe came in there and said they're letting him pitch illegally. I'm like, well, they've let him do it all night. I'm sure they've let him do it all season. I mean, I don't think it's that big a deal. It's one of those, what we call in the umpire world, don't pick boogers.
Yeah. Yeah.
In other words, don't go looking for something. The gorilla arm kind of falls in that category. But, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's a rule, and somebody knows it. They can call you out on it.
Especially in a playoff game.
Correct.
And there's a lot of times this past week and in the last couple of weeks that they're looking at every pitcher and starting to find a lot of them with stuff on them now.
Oh, yeah.
You talking about MLB?
Yeah.
So this is the.
But they got
I mean, a few guys in the last couple of weeks have had 10-game suspensions.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got so much. It's all geared toward offense. The pitcher's having to do something to stem the tide a little bit.
All right, let's listen to this for a second. See what he says here. Hit the computer. All right, here we go.
And then starts getting ready and doing his gloves and all that. And the rule is that you can't throw a pitch until the batter and pitcher look at each other and both are ready to play. And if you want to complain about that, you can, but it seems very fair to me. Like, hey, let's make sure both guys are ready. That's probably going to get us the best result on the field. And I agree. But Kenley's just looking at his eyes and his bat and not his feet. And Contreras knows this, so he starts his delivery, but Contreras' foot is still outside of the box. So the umpire says, hey, and he just gives him a warning. He says, you got to make eye contact. You got to look at him. Look at him. He's got to be ready.
Who's he warning, Contreras?
No,
the pitcher.
Okay, what? I was. I thought he was ready. All right. And then Contreras keeps his foot outside of the box, but he's looking at Kenley, making eye contact, and his bat is in the hitting position. So when Kenley is looking up, he's just focusing on the top half of his body, and he's seeing that he's ready. He's not looking at his feet, and he's starting his windup, and the umpire's like, no, now it's a violation. That's a ball. And Kenley's like, what?
A balk?
Wait, what?
Ball.
I thought he was ready. He turns to his infielders, and they must be like, no, dude. And he's like, yeah, okay, all right. So it's 1-1 count, and Contreras is trying to do it again, but you can see they're waiting him out. The ump's not ready. The catcher's looking at him. Kenley's kind of waiting for him, and then he steps in, and then the catcher says, all right, here we go, and they play. So Contreras doesn't do it that time, but he got him to do it twice. One a warning, one an automatic ball, and there's ball 2, and they stole second base. Goldie with wheels, because that run, if you're the Red Sox, really doesn't matter. It's not going to tie the game. Just get the outs when you can. And here's the 2-1 pitch. Contreras doesn't do it. He puts it in his back pocket. He's like, I'll save that again for later. Yep, that's what I'm saving it for. That was ball 3, just one more, and I'm on base. So he puts his feet right outside. He does it again, and Kenley does it again. That's his motion right there. See that knee come up? And he's not ready. And the umpire's like, dude,
take your base.
Again, that's a walk. And Contreras knows exactly what he was doing. Kenley's like, what? My problem was I was too slow. Now I'm going too fast? What? I don't understand what's happening. And the umpire writes it down in his little book, and he says,
for the game, but then you got a batter
that won't get
playing with him.
Yeah, they're going to have to make it where they can call a strike on him or something.
The shenanigans that ensued,
did
they win?
The Cardinals come back and won.
Oh,
look, we're down. Look, it's top of the night, down 3-1. We come back and won it. We won that game.
It's always something, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is just a weird rule that there's going to be some weird.
They got to win out of that.
Everybody's going to take advantage of whatever rule they can.
Yeah, I mean, they did whatever, and that's what they got out of it. But, I mean, my whole deal, that to me, that's on the batter.
Me too.
Get in the box.
Yeah, he did. The batter did everything within the rules.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. He did.
There you go.
They're
going to
maybe shouldn't be up there dancing on the mound.
That is going to be like Exhibit A. Okay, we got this. Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't be up there dancing on the mound.
Yeah, and I would say that.
If you'd get set and look at the batter, maybe you wouldn't do it.
Oh, they do this.
Yes, why? It drives me. If I see one of my pitchers ever do that, I'm walking over like, you're bothering me.
Yeah,
I feel like you're literally bothering me.
And I don't know the pitcher's name here, but his is weird.
It's Kenley Jansen.
Got like almost
he's just
it's stupid.
Yes, just
he's always did that though.
Yeah, right. And then the Cardinals end up Burleson ends up beating out a double play ball here to save the inning, and we got the run in. So Alex Burleson gets the run in. So Cardinals end up coming back and winning the game there, Tom. So yeah, a little games with shots. I hate this thing.
Another headache.
All right. Real quick, Tom, before you go, I know you got to go.
Yeah.
Predictions for Celtics and Heat. Who you got in the Eastern Conference Finals, Tom?
I got the Heat up 2-0 and going back to Miami. Even though Boston, I think, is 5-7.
I think me and Terry mentioned how tough the Heat was going to be.
Yeah.
From the get-go,
nobody wanted to play these guys. Jimmy Butler's not anybody to play with.
And I'm staying by my Denver pick. I know all y'all picked Phoenix in the last round.
I did
I'm staying
too.
by the Joker and
that the boy Murray
and the junior. What's the other guy? His name escapes me. Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
The Hornets could have picked.
Yep.
At 15.
Yep.
It was his back's hurt.
I think, and they also held Caldwell Pope. Didn't Caldwell Pope used to play for the Lakers?
He did.
So I mean, he had 20 points in game one. So I like the Nuggets. And now that I picked Philadelphia to win it all, and they choked up 3-2 and scored 75 points at home or something stupid like that, I think my new pick is going to be the Denver Nuggets. Now that I think they're going to get by the Lakers, which really breaks my heart. I really hate to see the Lakers lose. But I think it's going to be the Nuggets and the Heat. Sorry, Terry. You lost 2 at home. It's going to be tough.
Well, if they quit knocking LeBron into the first row of the bleachers and nobody touching him.
Well, his ankle's hurt, so he's on the injury list. But
Tom had Miami, Denver, L.A., and Philadelphia in this round. Terry had Boston, Miami, Phoenix, and Golden State. Zach had Boston, and then missed everyone else. Knicks, Phoenix, Golden State. I had the same thing as Terry, Boston, Miami, and then Phoenix and Golden State. So Tom, you still got three or four from the last.
I'm our new
round.
New NBA expert.
Yeah, right. yeah. Tom, it's time for you to go.
You go, Tom.
Sorry,
This is for you, Tom. How'd you leave?
No one to keep you in line, Henry.
Click him off.
Please call in and
click him off. There you go. Good job. Good job.
See you next week.
No, we didn't get that on.
Head to Adams Auto Group in Dallas. Paul Farrow will help you get into your next car. And check out the big selection on the lot. This week, take a look at a 2020 Toyota Tacoma with only 84,000 miles, priced at $35,900. Or how about a 2021 Ram 1500 Bighorn with just 52,000 miles, priced at $41,500. And don't miss this one, a 2010 Lexus IS with just 45,000 miles, priced at $18,900. That's Adams Auto Group, 520 East Straight Street in Dallas.
How many years? 37 years. That's how long Acre Enterprises in Cherryville has been serving this area with the absolute best pricing on metal roofing, carports, and buildings. They'll beat anybody's price on 40-year metal. Go by and see. Also right now, 12-foot white, brown, red, and silver Galvalume, just $30 a sheet. Spring is sprung and you'll save money at Acre Enterprises, 1220 Shelby Highway in Cherryville, right across from Food Line. Online at acrecarports.com and like them on Facebook too.
And we're back on Saturday More Sports Out with Kevin and his crew. We've got 2 left, Zach and Terry, because Tom left. But I don't believe Kevin realizes that we're back on the air yet. So,
all right, welcome back to the.
Oh, there we are.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Yeah, Terry, I'll tell you the rest of it, but basically, told me that I wouldn't allow my center fielder to sit down or him to sit down on the field, and I said, well, y'all are working. Have you ever heard of that one before? You ever told a coach to stand up?
No.
You ever told a coach to
No.
sit
I've
down
never
where he's
told
standing?
a coach anything unless he wants me to tell him something.
Have you ever told a coach to shut his mouth?
Have I ever did that?
You shut your mouth.
I did not say that. I said, Coach, watch what you're saying. Stuff like that, but not tell him to shut his mouth.
No, you shut your mouth. I heard that one the other day from an umpire, Terry, after a game.
Or look at him and just say, Coach, and that's basically telling him.
Let me put it this way. That guy didn't shut his mouth. I'll say that.
I'm telling you, man, we're in a different world these days.
And then another guy told a fan, a coach told a fan he told the fan to shut up. The fan told the coach to shut up. The coach turned around and told him to make him. And he said, okay, I'll make you right after the game. And he did. So if you tell somebody to make you shut up, better be prepared for them to make you shut up, right?
Well,
interesting, fun things. All right, Tommy's on the road. He wanted to rake your Celtics over the coals, Terry.
He's not gonna be able to do it. He had to leave.
He could still call in. He's got plenty of time. Dad's sitting.
No,
Cornelius.
he can't be.
Dad's
on the
sitting
phone.
in Cornelius right now, listening to us.
Yeah,
so
he cannot be on the phone
he can't
while he's
and
driving.
and talk to us at the same time. Okay.
We've seen Tom drive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got ball game.
Little ones today. Celtics 2-0, Terry, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Denver's up 2-0. Either one of those teams, I'll ask Zachary, does either one of them have a chance to come back and win?
I would say the Celtics have the best chance.
Celtics going on the road down 2-0, and the Lakers at home down 2-0.
I'd say the Celtics they got a better team than the Lakers do to come back. I don't think that Denver team is tough. They play together.
Well, Terry, tell me about your Celtics, where we're at. Well, this is one thing I wanted to point out. Did you know in the last 2 playoff games, Jason Tatum, James Harden, Ben Simmons, Terry Reinhart, Zach Mayu, John Prather, Kevin Hastings, and Tom Senafani in their last playoff game have all scored the exact same number of points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, from field goals, 0.
Yep. James Harden, his last 3 games ain't scored. Ben Simmons in his last 3 games didn't score in the fourth quarter. And Jason Tatum has not hit a shot in the last 2 field goals, and neither of anybody else at this table. Terry, after the last series, I was asked by someone, is Jason Tatum the best player in the NBA right now? And I said no. And
I agree.
And laughed.
I agree.
And he said, why? My response was, well, first of all, he went to Duke, so he can't be the best player in the NBA. Other than that, I'll think of someone else. But what has happened to Tatum here in the last 2 games? I thought he was Kobe 2.0 or 3.0, whatever they want to call him.
Well, he come out yesterday and he lit it up the first quarter. And I'm like, okay, this is a guy that I'm used to. But have you ever seen a team who can blow a 12-point lead in like a minute and a half? Boston has done this twice. I mean, I've never seen a team catch somebody so fast, and you have a 12 to 15 point lead, and a minute and a half later, they're tied. I have never in my life seen a team do that. And this is the NBA. This is, our professionals playing a game that we love to watch that can blow leads. Now, do I go back because I know our coach on the other end is like Pat Riley or Phil Jackson. They want you to work through it. That's how he's coaching. That's how he's being taught. I don't know whether that's how he was taught or that's how he wants to be on their category by not calling timeouts. Because in both of them series where Boston has had leads, he has never called a timeout. He's let the team catch him, and then he calls the timeout.
I used to get frustrated at Roy Williams for doing that.
And I've been so frustrated. But
you think so too, yeah.
And here's the difference in the games. Butler, which me and you said from day one, that guy scares me anyway.
I think he scares you.
He plays, and I have never seen somebody last year. That's all they told him. Hey, Butler, go play. Okay, I'll go play today. I mean, but now it's like he knows it's his game.
Doesn't he talk about himself in third person? Don't he say?
Well,
Jimmy?
I mean, yesterday
anybody calls himself in third person, I would.
Here's your problem.
a little crazy.
When Williams hits that three, talking crap to him, and you could see in Butler's face, like, okay,
yeah, he's like a Jordan type thing. You just made a mistake.
Yeah, and then he just lit him up. But here my problem was with that. Boston didn't come and double team to get the ball out of his hands. They let him go 1-on-1 with Grant.
And they don't have anybody else, really. I mean, who else are they going to give the ball to? Why don't you just make sure Butler don't score on you?
But when we had Jason Tatum guarding him, at least he had to shoot over. Or Brogdon, I didn't mind him guarding because he plays good defense. I don't think White can play him. But the other guys I would put on him and try. But Brown and Tatum have to show up, and they've not showed up.
Brown for the whole game, Tatum for the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and to me, I've always said, when people always ask me, and friends of me ask me who's the better player, and I always take Jaylen Brown. Because to me, I think when he gets going, he can light it up, but everybody's looking for Tatum to do it, and right now we're in that situation in Boston anyway. Is Brown going to be there next year or not? That's what everybody's saying. They know Tatum's going to be there, but, Brown should be like, hey, you don't forget me. But I don't know. You're down 0-2, and my deal is this.
They better go win both in Miami.
You got to win Game 3.
Yeah.
You got to have it where it's going to go back to Boston to give yourself an opportunity. And you say, okay, well, they've already beat you twice, but you cannot lose Game 3 or it's over.
And Boston was a 10-point favorite in that game.
Just looking at some of the box score, Miami got up 13 more shots than Boston in the game.
18-4 finish.
They out-rebounded you by 10. So that was probably where those extra shots came from. So you got beat on the board. So you fixed that.
Turnovers.
The turnovers are about the same. 15 to 11 points off 2017. So it wasn't even that. It's the rebound. You got beat on the board.
More offensive rebounds. 11
fouls are equal.
More offensive rebounds to give you another opportunity. And most of the time when they got offensive rebound, the next shot or the next one they countered.
Well, they won by 6 and had 5 more offensive rebounds.
Look at the fourth quarter score.
Little extra.
36-22.
Got me by 14 in the fourth. You were up going into the fourth by 8.
Yeah, and it was 100 to 100 with about a minute and a half left, I think. 100 to 100.
When Grant Williams hit that three that he had, that put Boston up by 9, and that was the end of it. Because then Butler said, "Okay, time for me to play."
They got outscored 24-9 after that.
And then, and I'm a Boston man, and I did not mind what Butler did. After he scored that second time, and then he come out like he's too small for me. Like Tyler Grant, like you're too small, because when he turned and went away, he put his hand down real low, like you're too small to guard me. And I'm a Boston man, but I like that. I'm like, you have motivated this guy. Of all the people that in the NBA, Butler, to me, is one of the top-notch players.
Mm-hmm. Just think, Terry, they do all this math and all this, take threes are worth more than the twos, and everybody's trying to play Steph Curry ball. But missing 25 three-pointers, that can't help your team. Like, as a coach, if you're going to miss 25, you almost be like, I'd rather you have 25 shots in the paint. I mean, come on, guys. It's basketball, still basketball. And all of you ain't Steph Curry. Just because you're in the same league as him doesn't mean you're in the same league as him, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, if you watched the game last night, Boston was more of the middle of the season team that I saw. At the start of the season, Boston probably your elite. They'd give the ball up, pick and rolls, back doors, everything you could think of. But they reminded me of the middle of the season team that I saw that was a lot of 1-1.
Yeah.
I'm going against you 1-on-1. And that's what they did last night. For a lot of that game, it was like Tatum going against three guys.
So
three guys would come over to guard him sometimes.
So this is what it used to be like watching the Charlotte Hornets when Dwight Howard was there. Your starters, besides your center, went 5 for 23 from 3, and your center's sitting there 5 of 5 in the paint. He's got 13 points, 5 of 5 in the paint. Like,
look at Williams.
That's what I'm saying.
He was 5 for 5
in 23 minutes,
3 out of 4, but he only was in there for so long. Why did we take him out? Why did we leave him out?
He played the least number of points on the field because you kept shooting threes. Everyone else on the court shooting threes. Look, he's the only one not shooting threes, and you took him out, and he's perfect from the field. That's what some of these. So if you're shooting over 50% from 2, that's better. It's the equal to the 30% from 3. So if you feed it into the 2, and if you got guys that do that over 50% from the 2, you've got to take the 2-pointers and
but like you said, your starters, Jalen and Tatum, 17 out of 43.
5 of 23 from my
total. You're not going to win with them playing like that. Forget it. It's a loss.
You did good with the bench though, with 33 points off the bench, even though they had 42.
Yeah, think of that. I heard, and Martin ate us alive.
I heard someone on that. Yeah, that's what I looked at last night. Terry, y'all deserve to lose. Y'all let Caleb Martin score 25 points.
Yeah, he lit us up.
He couldn't make the Charlotte Hornets. How's he?
Yeah, he lit us up.
We cut him. And don't he have a twin brother? We cut. There's 2 of them.
That's where they was talking about
Neither
it.
One of those
could
make the Charlotte Hornets.
Kenny
Smith
Smith
couldn't make the Charlotte Hornets.
Kenny Smith, daggum, sat there and he pulled out Vincent Strauss and Cody Martin and how they did against our bench. And he was like, there's no counter. He said that should never happen in an NBA game. They just lit us up. It was their night.
Kyle Lowry off the bench had 0 points. And the rest of and then Caleb Martin.
And he ate us alive in the first game.
Look at his plus minus when Kyle Lowry was in.
Minus 21. Everybody else is positive. Yeah. Kyle Lowry goes to the game minus 21.
Yeah, but the first game, he's the one that lit us up.
So they've got that roster where like anybody might score. Like, look, you go Terry. If I go in the game last night and I said y'all are going to give up 0 points to Kevin Love and Kyle Lowry, how would you feel about that?
I'd say we win.
Not a single
point. There's no doubt.
Kyle Lowry and Kevin Love didn't score a point last night, and y'all got beat.
I mean, there's nothing you can say.
Those are world champions.
But you know what they're going to say when all this is over, said and done? They're going to take their coach, and they're going to tell him, well, you wasn't up to the task.
Because they had David Robinson on the bench.
You know, I mean, that's what they're going to say. You know, this was above.
Is that
you're being out-coached is what they're going to tell him. You're being out-coached right now.
Butler of 27, Abadeo of 22. I did have, let's see, I think I had us a good, a few Twitter ones for the NBA.
Well, I know a minute ago you asked Zach who he thought could come back, and I appreciated Zach taking Boston because to me the big game's Game 3. We can't lose that one. Well, I mean, that's what they were saying even last night. I mean, even Barkley said, hey, Game 3 is the line because, if you win Game 3 at Miami, you got it under control.
And 2, they come out with a stat. There's only been six teams that has come back from an 0-2 in a conference final.
Yeah, and Kenny Smith was talking about he was one of them when he had Elijah one and them. They were down 0-2.
I remember that.
Yeah, and he was saying, he said we come back and won, but he says the difference is all of us believed in him, and he was such a great passer with the ball, like Jokey, that he'd dish it out to us and we'd knock it down. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I think the Lakers are in a better position because they're getting ready to play 2 games at home.
I think they're going to drop. I think they're going to drop the first one in LA.
Well, now my deal with that, if you lose this one, is Game 3 is big for the Lakers and Game 3 is big for Boston. And if the NBA had one, it would be a Laker-Boston matchup, but they might not get that.
All right, so we're going to switch over to Denver and Lakers as you bring that up. Now, here's a soundbite, Terry, and this is and I think this is why I brought this up, because this is kind of what I said. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but this is about guarding Jokic and big men in general. Remember when I was talking about you got to pick them up at half court, make them work. This is Kenny Smith on the broadcast saying almost the exact words that I did, and I'm just sitting there thinking, I had to pick that up through Carolina in the basketball schools. This is almost exact word for word of what I said the other day, but I just want to let Kenny say it, and the mentality of what a guard sees when a big man is beating you like that. I think, Zach, go ahead and hit computer.
The only thing that's invisible.
Oh, sorry. And of course I did something. What did I just do? Here we go. Now he's talking about how in shape he is, but then he talks about what I was talking about.
He's not physically in shape like Anthony Davis and athletically. So, okay, how do we utilize that? The one thing that Rui did would not work in the second. Joker figured that out. But when he's bringing the ball up as like that point center, oh no, we got to pressure him. That's when you run to him. You make him work. You got to bring it up, make him turn. Get him a little more fatigued so he doesn't want to be an offensive threat. Then the second part of that was, we're pick and rolling him. We got to get him in the pick and roll all day, every day. The only thing.
So what Kenny's talking about and what I was alluding to is that, when he doesn't have the ball and he comes up half court, your big man should be standing there anyway, put his hands in his chest and run down the court with him. Make him think you're there. Make him at least move left and right. The idea is to expend energy. Then when he brings the ball up as a guard, the coach is already is in your ears and in your butt already. As a guard, to put pressure on it, because what you want him, whoever the ball handler is, Terry, correct? You want them to go to a spot that they don't want to go to. So you force them left, right, whatever. They want to go to a spot to start the offense. So the idea, what Kenny's talking about there, is make him he's not quick enough to beat a man off the dribble at the top of the key. I don't care who you put up there. You don't have to put your center on him. Put LeBron or Hoochie Moore or whatever. Somebody that can make him pick his dribble up and reset the offense, especially in the NBA with only a 24-second clock.
Yeah.
That's what baffles me about it. Because if you make him throw the ball and then run away for 5 seconds, then come back and get the ball and reset at 14 or 15, that's so much better for your offense. And I think that's what Kenny's talking about in these guys. But it's hard to make the big men, like, because you're tired, Terry, in basketball. You run up and down the court. And those big men, they don't want to do a lot between the three-point lines.
That's true.
So when you tell them to play defense on a big man like Jokic, that's what makes them hard, and he's dribbling the ball, they don't want to be out there. They don't. So I think when the Lakers made their adjustment, the idea was Hachimura or going after him. And I think that's what the idea was, try to pressure him, but I don't know if he's big enough to.
Is that guy not playing out his tail?
He is.
Yeah.
I think he's like 16 out of 20.
He was 100% in the last game.
Yeah, he's
on everything. 3 points, 2 points, free throws.
I mean, I know in the 2 games he has lit it up.
And I've said last week that their trade deadline, that they did an excellent job of putting people around.
He's a
to
free
make
agent. He might not even be back. Somebody could offer him more money.
Anyway, what you was talking about too about
he was 8 of 10, 21 points in the last.
What you're talking about the centers and stuff too. They don't have those hockey players coming in anymore to disrupt a lot of these guys too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if they were playing real quick, if they were playing man to man, 1-on-1, LeBron should be guarding Jokic.
Well, I want to ask you another question.
He'll foul out.
They said this series for Russell is not good. What is Denver doing that makes Russell no part of their offense?
I actually did read something about that.
I think he only got like 11 last game.
He had 10 on 3 of 8 shooting.
I mean, I after they said that, I started like, why I ain't even paid attention to him not doing that? But he's doing nothing. And they said, then they come up saying, well, the whole game for him is not his type of game. And I know if you push it up to court, that's what the Lakers want to do, and that makes him better.
Well, the Lakers beat the Nuggets twice this season in the regular season before the Lakers made the trade. That was with Russell Westbrook. And the highlights, they had trouble staying in front of Westbrook. Jamal Murray's good. I mean,
he's good.
He scored 26 in the fourth quarter last game.
He's really good. We talked about their height. Gordon and Porter were both 6'10",
and they're physical.
7 foot.
There's a difference. They're physical. They're not like a Brooks from.
But weren't we like just
Dallas.
last week hearing all the pundits talking about that the Lakers are going to walk to the finals and this is easy and LeBron and all this
But now here we are again. When Anthony Davis does not perform, the Lakers have a hard time winning.
So the Lakers. Terry, here's your fun note. When the free throw differential is within 5. The Lakers are 0-5 in the playoffs.
I can believe that. I can.
That means if it's even
If
close
I'm gonna call
to
it
if it's
tight
even close to even,
and give them
the Lakers
calls.
lose every single game. If it's even close to even, the only time they have a chance of winning is if they shoot at least more than 5 free throws than the other team.
Give him points.
Not saying it's fixed. Last night, free throws, Denver, 6 of 18. Before the fourth quarter, you know how many free throws they shot? 10. Before the fourth quarter, because I was sitting there looking at it, at the end of the third quarter, Lakers had shot 20 free throws, and the Nuggets had shot 10.
And it was
was
it tied almost? It was real close.
3-point
Lakers
game.
were winning.
Yeah, the Lakers
I knew it was real close.
Lakers were winning, and the free throw differential was 10.
I think
they
it was
were up at half,
76.
The
it was up by 1.
The Nuggets get
51,
8 free throws in the fourth quarter and win by 5. Free throws. They can say whatever you want. It's obvious. Davis 4 of 15 last night. LeBron 9 of 19.
But I gave the Lakers a lot of credit going down the stretch. If Denver would score, the Lakers would come down and score. They kept it within reach, but they couldn't, get on top and finish it. But even with the quarter that Murray was having.
All right, Zach. Let's see. Real quick. Where did that go? All right, we're going to go to the NBA draft here. Where
NBA draft.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your Charlotte Hornets.
Well, we had somebody call in here a few weeks ago and said they knew who was going to be number 1.
Why don't we just trade LaMelo Ball in the second pick to the Spurs?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. All I'm told and all I hear is how great and awesome and fantastic and wonderful LaMelo Ball is. NBA proven. So, Zach and Terry, if we call the Spurs and offer them the 2 pick and our whole roster, including LaMelo Ball, would they take it?
No.
They ain't that good then, is he?
Nope. Who is the 2 that's coming out this year?
Nobody.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody.
Like, is there anybody?
Oh, no, here they are. Here's the guys listed in one of your mock drafts. Everybody's saying either.
I know who I'm picking.
Either Brandon Miller or Scoot Henderson are going to be the next pick. So here's your options, Zach. Brandon Miller, who's involved in a murder investigation, who gave the gun to the murderer.
Well, that's who we're getting.
Or a 6'2" point guard named Scoot.
Like we need another guard.
Terry, you're Charlotte Hornets. This is why I'm wearing my Charlotte shirt today. Because every year, we're a joke. Complete joke. We got our pick, instead of having the 7-4 franchise changer, we've never won anything in our history of sports. They give him to the Spurs, who they've never won anything. And our choices are an attempted murderer and a 6'2" point guard named Scoot. And the fourth pick,
I'm going with Amen.
His name Amen.
I'm going with Amen. That's who I'm picking.
Just God, Terry.
Can you imagine?
Terry, are we going to make the play in again next year? You know what they're saying?
You'll be the play in.
They're even talking about bringing Miles Bridges back still too. They're still talking about bringing Miles Bridges.
I don't know who you picked, but I know who my pick would be, and it's who they got him with.
Who, Grady Dick?
No, Brandon Miller. He is probably the best guy out there.
Terry, you can't pick him at 2, though.
I know that, but I mean,
he might have killed some or helped kill somebody.
I don't care. He's the best player out there. I'm just saying. I mean, what else you gonna do?
Sign up, Ray.
You got the best college. You got the best college player, and you got the best international player. And the international player's heads over heels are better than him.
It's just awful.
And we don't need enough. We don't need that. We need that wing. We need that 7'4" wing.
Look, everybody says Brandon Miller, like just Terry just said, is. But again,
how big is he? 6'5"?
No, he's like 6'8", 6'9".
Is he that big? I thought he was. I thought he was a
he can play.
6'5" guard.
6'9", 200 from Alabama.
Well, that's not. I don't say
play.
that's horrible.
He can
I
play.
don't say that's horrible.
What? That's not what I'm
But
arguing, Jerry.
it's just we always
This
we
is
miss
the
out on
Charlotte-
Shaq.
This is the Charlotte Hornets.
We miss out on Shaq. We get Emeka Okafor and the Dwight Howard deal. We get Raymond Felton in the Chris Paul deal, which I ain't the biggest Chris Paul fan. I think we picked him 4. They got him at 3. Who I know I'm missing another one.
It's all been
LJ. We got LJ. Who was in the LJ draft? Was that Shaq? That was Shaq. Yeah. So
who was Lonzo behind?
I don't remember that.
Or was he behind Shaq?
I thought Alonzo was behind Shaq because we about picked Christian Laettner. It was between Alonzo and Christian Laettner.
No, Larry was number 1 overall.
He was 92. Shaq was 92.
Was Larry not number 1 overall?
He was number 1 overall.
Okay.
So we did get the one time. So we got Larry. The next year Shaq came out. We had Shaq, Christian Laettner, and Alonzo, and they almost picked Christian Laettner.
Right,
Thank God they didn't.
Here you go. 91. Larry Johnson. What year did J.R. Reed come out? Didn't we miss
89.
So 89, we missed out on Danny Ferry.
I think he came out at 4. I think we picked him at 4. J.R. Reed.
Yeah, this is only showing the top 3. The one I clicked on. I can click on another one, but this is kind of easy for us to start here with the Hornets. 1990. We'll start in 1990. Derek Coleman went 1 overall. Gary Payton 2. Abdul Rauf 3. 91, we got the number 1 overall pick. Charlotte Hornets 1 with Larry Johnson.
Who went 2 in that draft?
Kenny Anderson, then Billy Owens.
Oh, we really did good.
So did good on that one. 1992 was Shaq. Then Alonzo Mourning, we got the second pick in that one.
Who went 3rd?
Christian Laettner.
He did go 3rd? Okay.
At Minnesota.
We almost picked him.
Then Magic in back-to-back years picked Chris Webber, and Shaq then traded Webber.
For Penny
Hardaway. Hornets then.
J.R. Reed was the 5th pick.
See our next dodo that we ended up with. In the 3rd overall pick, got Baron Davis. I think we ended up on the good end of that one.
Probably.
With Elton Brand. We just the bad thing about that pick, you know what the worst thing about that pick? He moved to New Orleans.
Kevin's like me. He loved him.
He was in front of him.
He was good.
On to the 2000s, where the Bobcats got an Okafor behind Dwight Howard.
It's awful.
Adam Morrison behind LaMarcus Aldridge and Andre Bargnani. And then that's the ones that.
How do you pick Adam Morrison at 3?
Those are the big ones that we messed up on.
He could shoot and he couldn't guard nobody.
They picked him over.
That's a total NBA almost though.
So they picked him.
True.
Here's the ones they picked Morrison over. Brandon Roy is the one that kills you.
Yeah.
Rudy Gay kills you.
He was really good.
Even
JJ.
Heck, JJ Redick is better than Adam Morrison. You could have had JJ Redick for 15 years in Charlotte. Nobody would have ever wanted him and traded for him. You just could have kept him. Kyle Lowry is at 24 in that draft.
Not a great draft.
In the 2nd round, you got P.J. Tucker and
Paul Millsap was a good
in the 2nd round. So
not a great draft.
Well, they still passed up on 4 or 5 Rajon Rondo was in there. They passed up on 4 or 5 All-Stars for Adam Morrison. So there's your Charlotte Hornets, and they're wonderful. I could go through all the years.
It's bad.
And
Noah Vonleh we
picked.
picked.
They passed up on through the years, but
yeah. But it's a shame this draft is only really one player, and everybody knew going in, I want that number 1.
It's almost like that every year lately.
You know, and then the rest of the guys are even.
Well, it's because you don't know. Because of the 18-year-olds, the transfers, the foreign guys, the G League Unite. So that's why you don't know these guys. And Terry, honestly, the year after year when we get to this, that's why I keep saying, if you'll just pick the guy who wins the one-on-one battles, you'll narrow it down to a good number of people that, instead of looking at the 7-footer and be like, we can block shots, maybe one day he can shoot a free throw. How about pick the guy now who can score? And then if he can't score, so there's so many guys that come in the league and only have to play 3 or 4 or 5 years, but they score 15 points a game. Yeah. At least get that out of them. As the Malik Monks, at least he scored it. Would you rather have Malik Monk or Adam Morrison?
And see, here's the worst thing about that: the Charlotte gets rid of Malik Monk, and he's pretty outstanding now. Yeah, I mean, he can play. Mm-hmm. But it took somebody else to give him his opportunity, or maybe it took a lot off of him of leaving Charlotte. So he could become himself.
And maybe our coaches are horrible.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, just be honest about it.
You talk about? Did you say coaches?
Yeah, our coaches.
Well, we hired a guy we've already fired before.
Yeah, I mean, who wants Steve Clifford back?
Well, how does that even happen?
I just think that right there was just to fill in until I can find somebody else. But I don't know how long you're going to stay with him.
I'm looking at some of these past drafts. That we didn't have any draft picks after the Lonzo and Larry drafts. Did we trade some away like that? We didn't even have them in the first. I'm sitting there looking at them. Charlotte's not even listed. Kobe there at 13. We drafted Kobe and traded him. It's just the draft.
It's bad. Other than Larry and Lonzo, it's awful. I mean, even the first one we got was Rex Chapman. How great was he? You know, and they screwed us in that anyway because they didn't give us the number one picks like they should with being expansion teams. Why would the expansion teams not get number one?
We were expansion team twice and didn't get neither one number one pick. We were twice an expansion team basically and didn't get actually 3 times.
How are you going to give a team that had to pick players scrubs off other players and you don't even get the number one pick?
Yeah, we were franchise team twice and to get a number one pick.
Now, what will this draft do for San Antonio? Will this make them play-in team?
So here's the rumor.
If he's as good as the rumor,
or will they go out and get other people to come with him?
I've heard GM say that he'll be one of the top scorers and top defenders in 3 years.
Have you heard the coaching rumor
for the Hornets?
No, Spurs.
Oh,
on the post Popovich plan.
It's going to be the girl Hammond.
You ready for this?
Tim Duncan,
Steve Kerr.
I can see that. He played there.
Him and Pop are really good friends, disciple of him. That's the rumors on the internet now that Kerr will be moving to coach Wembanyama. Whether he can coax Steph to come with him when it happens or not is something in the future to be said. But that's what the rumors are, is that Pop wants to hand it off to Kerr if he can possibly. I don't know how that.
Well,
Kerr's contract and all that, and when that
they'll
would
probably
happen.
get a number one draft pick out of it or something.
They already got one.
No. What'll happen is the Spurs
trade for him.
They'll have to give him the number one. When Bonnet get hurt, like David Robinson got hurt, whatever.
You know, have Tim Duncan.
They'll have to. But yeah, just I don't know. The Hornets are. It's not good. Like I said, you got to pick between a guy named Scoot, a guy named Amen, and a guy who gave somebody a gun to murder somebody.
Take Miller. Sorry.
Those are my choices.
I mean, we could have had Anthony Edwards.
This mock draft, don't get Edwards or Jordan Jr. Brandon Miller 2, Scoot Henderson at the 3, 6'2", 195 point guard. Well, I mean, everybody's saying.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. If they go like Charlotte does, crazy, and they leave Brandon Miller there for somebody else to get, here we go. You've done it again. I don't care what the guy's done. He's the next best guy there. I mean, you know.
Is G.G. Jackson coming out?
Terry has no care what anyone does.
I'm asking for the best player to come there.
Punch out teammates. Give somebody a gun to shoot somebody.
They've got
G.G. shoot, you be on Terry's team.
Yeah.
They've got G.G. Jackson down there going to Orlando from South Carolina. He's the one that pulled from coming to Carolina and went to South Carolina. He didn't even score 10 points a game for South Carolina.
The mock draft. So everybody's saying Portland's looking to trade the 3 for a veteran to pair with Damian Lillard.
Who's going to trade to give him a veteran for the 3?
Well, you get Scoot Henderson, Zach, or Brandon Miller.
Mm-hmm.
So Charlotte at the 2, Houston at the 4, saying Anthony Black from Arkansas, Taylor Hendricks from Central Florida at the 5 to Detroit, Amen Thompson from Overtime Elite G League, or that's not the G League, it's a different professional league. And then they've got Grady Dick from anywhere from 7 to 12. So good luck with you guys. Cam Whitmore, Nick Smith, C.G. Jackson, Jerace Walker, Kason Wallace, Keontae George, Jalen Hoodshift, and Maxwell Lewis. There's some names. There's another guy from France all the way down to 17, 6'7". I am not going to try to pronounce it, but I always like once you get past 10, I mean, I always pick, to me, again, I always like picking the guy that's the best one-on-one player or a foreigner. And that's what I would go with. But
Brandon Miller.
Terry likes Brandon Miller. Let's see what it says, Terry. from Antioch, Tennessee. So the Vols missed up on their drafting. Athleticism. Oh, y'all can't see that on that one, can you? Switch to that one. 9 on size, defense 8, strength 8, quickness 8, leadership 7. Leadership 7. Really? Can't give him a 3 on that one.
Well, you got Ball. He's supposed to be your leader, right? There you go.
You can't get a 3 on leader. Who gave him a 7 for leadership? Jump shot 7, NBA ready 8, ball handling 7, potential 9, passing 8, and intangible 7. I don't know how that averages up to a 95. It's more like a 80 something, isn't it? If you did 90, 90, 99, whatever. Anyway, that's that. Let's see strengths and weaknesses. And extremely talented. Small forward, power forward, lanky frame, and good length and athleticism. Sound like Jay Billis. Leads all freshmen with 18 points a game, 45% from the field. Can shoot over wings with his size. Sniper from distance. Is he going to play small forward, Terry?
Probably. Yeah. For them, he would.
Size on the perimeter makes him effective at sticking contested shots. I mean, he's P.J. Washington's size, and they put him at power forward and play him at center sometimes. So I don't know what.
Well, you're looking for the best guy that's available, and he's it.
It looks like it.
Weaknesses. It does not mention gun in the first sentence.
Yeah, shoots too much.
Oh, gosh. They missed something there, didn't they? He has solid athleticism, but he lacks great burst and explosiveness, so he can't jump. Sometimes he has a hard time separating off the dribble, and he has to take contested shots, so he's not fast. So he can't shoot. He can shoot if he's open, Terry. So he's Klay Thompson?
Well, Jimmy Butler. No, I wouldn't put him in that range, but a Jimmy Butler, because Jimmy Butler don't get away from people.
Doesn't get to the rim that much in the half-court offense. Nothing more than decent as a leaper. Nothing more than decent as a leaper.
They put him with Paul George as his comparable, too. So, and Paul's like,
Paul's the leaper. He's a dunker. He's not.
He can dunk. I mean, there ain't no doubt about that. I just think
like he's as athletic
separation
as Tyler Hansbrough.
from people is,
It did say he was a sharpshooter.
Needs to add muscle to his frame, which all these kids at this age do. Times falls in love with the jump shot. Can stand to improve on picking his spots. Could look to add a little more arch to his shot, which can be flat. There's moments when aggressive pressure throws him off his game. He usually does a good job adjusting to the defense. Won't realize his true defensive potential until he adds muscles to play against bigger power forwards. So that means he's a small forward, you dodos. But he's not fast enough to guard them, though. So he's not fast enough to guard small forwards, not big enough to guard power forwards. So this is even getting better. Will be 21 years old as a rookie, older than your typical one-and-done prospect. Overall, consistent 5-star prospect, came to Alabama thinking and joined the G League following his high school career, blah, blah, whatever. Anyway, Terry, no matter which way you look at it, I can't be talked into any of those being good news for us. It's all downhill.
Why can we not
can't go downhill? What do you mean downhill?
Well, I just think anybody else you pick. I mean,
Should we trade it?
I told you what I'd do. I would call San Antonio
for a veteran
and say, "Hey, we'll give you, You said the whole roster that you can't, but I would give.
But they're not going to do that now. There's no way San Antonio never going to.
You don't think they would take Ball and
no
Rozier?
I thought he was awesome. No. I thought Ball was the greatest thing since
Ball, Rozier, and had a chance to get Anthony or Miller.
There's nothing that Charlotte can give up to get him.
4 first-round picks, LaMelo Ball. We'll even throw Michael Jordan for PRs.
Yeah,
for a round of golf.
No, y'all know better than that. That's not going to happen.
I think they would. I think they should at least try.
That's what I said. Is there anybody they try to? Is there anybody that's tradable for?
Yeah, but who would make a trade
for the number 2
The only
pick?
teams that would make a trade to y'all for what y'all wanting would be a Detroit, Atlanta. I think they might make you something. I mean, just to help a young, but with another person like Miller. But I mean, I don't see anybody making trades unless they're going to have to give up somebody, and that's the question. Somebody, and they're only going to be average to get to that number 2.
All right,
and the person you're going to get for them is only a 15-point score.
The rosters right now. I ain't even looked at who might be who could be available. Kyrie could be available.
No, you could maybe go to OKC or Houston, but then they keep talking about Houston might get Harden back. I mean, you know, all this stuff's scary.
They might not want him there. He wants to go party there. That's the number one strip club city in America. That's James Harden's spot. All right, before we go to break, NASCAR. This is MJ with his mama, and his mama showing him how to shoot a basketball. Let's see, Zach.
Keep your eye on the rim and concentrate.
Like this. Like that?
No, like this. Like this. Like this. Like this, Michael. And now give it some razzle-dazzle.
That's my mom.
Keep your eye
He said,
on
"That's
the
my
rim.
mom."
Give it some
So for the people on the
razzle-dazzle.
radio,
Oh my Lord!
That's it.
Is that Daryl Armstrong?
they used a stunt double.
Yeah.
It looked like
of his
Daryl
mom,
Armstrong
and
from
it's a dude
Gastonia.
with a big old mustache. So he's got his mom shooting like little 8-foot jumpers with him, and she's just throwing it in one-handed or whatever, and they're using flash cuts to show it. But then when they go, she says she wants to do some razzle-dazzle on the folks on the radio.
Maybe it's just shot
They
that
use a
from the
stunt-
backside.
They use a stunt double.
got a full beard.
With a full mustache. Like, that mustache is tickling his nose. It's so thick. Oh, let's do it. Zach hit it. Well, I want to hear her say razzle-dazzle. Here, let me go back.
And now give it some razzle-dazzle.
That's my mom.
JP, you
Keep
see?
your eye on the rim and concentrate.
Oh, you got the game up. Okay.
Like this.
JP wanted to come in and see his mama dunk one time.
Like that?
No.
It looked like the dude
this.
from Coming to America, Zach.
Our city road.
Like this. Like this. Like this, Michael. And now give it some razzle-dazzle.
That's my mom.
That's got to be an 85, 86 Jordan. I mean, he's young.
Oh. All right, we'll be back in a minute. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Register your dad in this year's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Father's Day giveaway. Some lucky dad will win a $500 shopping spree at one of our local merchants. Register today at Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain, at Sia's Family Ford on Oak Street in Forest City, at Bradley's Incorporated on Highway 74 West in Shelby, at Gaston Used Auto Parts on Dogwood Street in Gastonia, at Tri-City Outdoor Power Equipment on Daniel Road in Forest City, at The Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, at Medical Center Pharmacy on East Academy Street in Cherryville, at Robbins Paint and Carpet on Commercial Drive in Forest City, and at any of the drop-in stores in Shiloh, Sandy Mush, Bostic, and Forest City. The drawing will be held on Friday, June 16th. Register your dad today. He could be our $500 Father's Day shopping spree winner.
Country Gold with Terry Clark.
Hi, I'm Terry Clark, inviting you to join me for Country Gold. Each week, we play your favorites from the 80s and 90s and check in with the stars who made them. Don't miss out on the fun.
Join Terry Clark every Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
See what $12.99 down will get you at Cars, Trucks, and Credit in Lincoln. This week, take a look at a 2005 Honda Civic LX or a 2008 Buick LaCrosse CX and a 2009 Pontiac G6. Cars, Trucks, and Credit has a 2006 Honda Accord EXL at $12.99 down and a 2007 Honda Odyssey EXL, also $12.99 down. That's Cars, Trucks, and Credit, 604 Clark Drive in Lincoln. Online at ctcautosports.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com. Hear that? That's the sound of a leaky roof. And if you're experiencing a leaky roof, call on Gaston Roofing. With over 3 generations of experience spanning over 80 years, Gaston Roofing serves Gaston, Lincoln, Cleveland, Rutherford, and York counties with metal roofing and fiberglass shingles. And they feature a lifetime shingles warranty, plus a 7-year labor warranty. They also do siding, doors, and gutters. Gaston Roofing, 1302 West Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. For your free estimate, call 704-861-8166. Online at GastonRoofing.com.
Flashback to 2019 pricing with James River Equipment. Save up to $4,800 on a John Deere tractor with loader at 2019 prices. Additional inventory has just been added, so there's an array of models to choose from. Like a John Deere 3025D tractor with loader, now just $19,999. Other models and horsepowers available for a limited time. Visit JamesRiverEquipment.com for more. Offer ends 5/31/23. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Think of Keith's Customs in Cherryville for all of your car and truck restorations. Keith also does insurance work from start to finish. They can assure you of a just-like-new experience. Located on 150 next to Ferguson's Ace Hardware in Cherryville. Stop today and see the pros at Keith's Customs. Remember, there's no substitute for experience. Keith's Customs of Cherryville.
Thank you, Dan. And don't forget, Keith's Customs in Cherryville is now open 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6 on Saturday. That's Keith's Customs in Cherryville.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk. We're in the, I guess you could say, the final lap of the race.
Yeah. Real quick,
Good
some
job,
some college stuff. I don't know how bad these guys got to be at school. Some of the stuff going on this week. And the transfer portal, Seth Towns, Ohio State, has been in college since 2016, and he's in the transfer portal, Terry. It's 2023. Stetson Bennett, they said they can't find any proof that he actually graduated from Georgia, so still working on that. So maybe that's why he was dropping. They were talking about the off-field stuff with him. They couldn't tell he passed grades. And Caleb Love's decommits from Michigan this week because of his grades. And Terry, if your grades ain't good enough at Carolina, when they fake your classes, you definitely ain't gonna get in somewhere else, I guess.
Wonder what he does now.
You talking about Caleb?
Yeah.
NC State.
Wrong.
He wanted to.
Ain't that right, Zach?
Would you not? Would you not if you wanted to stick it to somebody?
I was just saying that I was just talking about
But
academics.
oh no, he can't. I mean, if he can't.
Hey, we don't mind him coming to us if he's shooting 80%.
I mean, he's 80. Where does he go? Does he go to the NBA G League?
He can go to another. There's plenty of schools that'll let him in.
Oh,
Just because
yeah.
Michigan wouldn't doesn't mean anybody else won't. There'll be somebody let him in. All right, this one I wanted to show you. This is another real quick one though. Canada's has not won a Stanley Cup in 30 years. Canada has not won a Stanley Cup in 30 years. All right, I got to play this soundbite. This is for Terry and all the Ross Chastain fans out there. You know who that is, Terry?
You said
that guy by looking at him.
He said a minute ago.
This is Jeff Bodine talking about Ross Chastain and NASCAR racing.
I thought it was Kevin Sullivan.
Good to see you. What do you think about the drivers that are complaining about the aggressiveness of Ross Chastain?
Get over it.
They asked him about, real quick, I'll let you finish. What do you think about the drivers complaining about the aggressiveness of Ross Chastain? And this is Jeff Bodine.
Get over it. Those guys never raced with Earnhardt, I guess.
There you go, Terry.
Ross is, he admitted he made some mistakes. He's not doing that stuff on purpose.
Yeah, he is.
His move at Martinsville was absolutely incredible. I love the kid. But yeah, he's made some mistakes. Excuse me. I think we all do once in a while, have in our lives. He's learning, but he's aggressive, and that move at Martinsville was absolutely ingenious. How do you think of that? I've raced there a lot. I won 15 races there. I never thought about doing that. Never. So I give him a lot of credit for that, and then they outlaw it. But yeah, I love Ross. I love watermelon, so hey, I want him today to smash another one. I'll go get a piece of that thing. That's what he told me.
That would make some pretty good TV to see Jeff Bodine running across.
I'd jump out there and get some watermelon.
All right, one thing. The guy that does this, I'm going to pause him. I hate the people that come up to other people being interviewed and mess with them or touch them or try to get in on the interviews. Like in the after the games in basketball and football, bro, ain't nobody interviewing you. Ain't nobody talking to you. Ain't nobody asking you. And you coming over getting in on an interview. I hate those guys. And there's just some guy walk by putting the water on the back of his neck while he's doing an interview over here. But there's a little Jeff Bodine saying, Terry, y'all need to get over it.
Okay. Well, they will. They'll take him out next time they see him. Yeah, they'll get over it. That's how it works.
He said, get over it. Y'all ain't never raced Earnhardt. And that's what I've been saying this whole time, Terry. As an Earnhardt fan, you really shouldn't be able to say anything about anything Ross Chastain's done. And now here's Dale Jr. talking about North Wilkesboro and the pavement. Terry was talking about will they run a cup race here, and this was them asking him about them running cup races in North Wilkesboro.
I do. I think you should come back here for a 400 lap race for points. Maybe they need to repave it after the end of this week. I'm not sure. That pavement's, if the pavement makes it through Sunday without real issues, they could consider taking that risk, but it would be such a risk. It could be a big risk to get this surface to last much longer. It's our cars and our program and our style of race can deal with a lot of imperfection, but the Cup crowd, it will not put up with problems and problematic surfaces. So one little problem, one little car, one car has any kind of an issue from a rock going through the radiator or whatever. You can't have that going on, but so it's a big risk that they're taking now with this surface for this Sunday. But so I think they won't want to take that risk again. I'll be surprised if they do.
So basically, Terry, the surface is coming up. The drivers pretty much voted in the preseason to leave it like it is because they want it to be more slick. Sorry about that, folks.
Yeah,
slick and abrasive. I mean, they want to be sliding around, but in abrasive, they want to rub. They want the tire to rub, but now some of the part of the tracks are coming up, Terry. So that's been the issue this weekend. That's what he's referring to is probably they may have to repave if they are going to do redo the track or come back for points.
Yeah, and I heard yesterday that they was talking about tires, how long tires will last.
Mm-hmm.
When it's supposed to be at least 50 miles and they only last them 40 or 35. And some big guys are having issues.
Did they not do anything? I was fixing to ask. Did they not do anything to get this thing up to?
Well, they're patching it right now. No. The drivers wanted the old concrete because they want the tire. So they want the tires to rub off. So it once they rub off, it gets slicker, and they say the drivers want it to be like that so they could pass better. But the problem is there's no grip at all.
Yeah, see.
And that's what they're talking about. Denny Hamlin was talking about if you could somehow repave maybe up next to the wall, because when you slow down, you got to be able to get the grip to pass somebody. So they're concerned it's going to be single file, but with such a short track race, there ain't going to be no single file. and for $2 million on the line, there's not going to be. I don't think there's going to be. The guy up front is going to try to pull away, but once he gets into any type of traffic, Terry, it's not going to be easy
will
at
he catch
all.
the back end?
That's what I'm saying. It's not going to be easy at all to even lap people. I don't think, is it, Terry? I mean, what do you?
Well, to me, it shouldn't. It should take you a while. If you start in the back, I don't think you're getting to the front until lap 70 or 80. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to pick people off periodically.
I mean, if you pass one person a lap from 40, it takes you 39 laps.
Yeah,
and that's smoking
somebody. So there's for the folks at home or on the radio, we're showing parts of the track.
I think it's going to be exciting. I'm glad they're there. But I mean, for this to be permanent, and that's what I would love. And I agree with Earnhardt.
Look,
do whatever you got to do. It's going to do nothing but help the community up there.
Yeah, it closed right before I started going to App up there, and so I've just missed on just being able to drive down the road. It's only like a 30-minute drive from Appalachian. Here is real quick one of the issues they were having, Terry. I know we got to go. Was the spotter stands? Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
So the spotter stand was down in turn 1. Well, if you know anything about the track, turn 1's on the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
Turn 3s and 4, it's
like
leaning.
racing up and racing down.
It's an up and downhill track. It's not a flat track. So turns 3 and 4 are on the top of the hill, and turns 1 and 2 are on the bottom of the hill. So they put the original they put the spotters tower down in turn 1, and there was nowhere. They couldn't basically see nothing in turn 4 because they were looking uphill at them. And so they've moved it and added a temporary one to hopefully a better spot. And then now they're complaining about, well, they don't know how safe this one is.
Well, I was getting ready to
It's a little
say.
bit rickety. It's a scaffolding, plywood.
I don't know whether I want to be up there and this thing's not secure.
So they've got that. There are better pictures of it. I was trying to find another one where the guys were standing on it. Let me find the guy standing.
Looks like some bleachers I've been at.
They were packed
at a rodeo.
All right, Terry, I know you'd want to see this one. That's what I was trying to find. This is them recreating the last photo of the last race at North Wilkesboro. This is all the guys that they're going to be in the All-Star Challenge this week. There were some of the fans there that were there for the truck race. But this is a recreation of a photo of the last one where they raced there. And let's see if I can pull that one up. There's the first one. Or no, that might have been the last because I see Bill Elliott and Earnhardt there, and so that had been one of the last. That had been the last one. So anyway, Terry, All-Star race. You said you want to know the format and all that? We need to go through that real quick before we get out of here, so everybody knows. Today on KTC Broadcasting this weekend, of course, though, guys, we got a bunch of stuff this weekend on KTC Broadcasting. We've got NASCAR racing, truck race, All-Star racing. We've got Braves baseball. We've also got, guys, American Legion Baseball returning to KTC Broadcasting. We have tonight, 6:45, Cherville Legion against Matthews on KTC WCSL. You're listening to us right now. Atlanta Braves will be on WHS. Xfinity Racing Series today starts at 1 o'clock coverage from North Wilkesboro. Tomorrow, NASCAR Cup coverage starts at 5. And then tomorrow night, we'll have Cleveland County and at Rutherford County on WOHS. Now, this weekend, real quick, let's look at the North Wilkesboro schedule for everybody wanting to know real quick. Let's see, weekend schedule. That's the one I'm looking for. All right, today, Saturday, it is now 10:20. 10:30 is qualifying for the truck series. Garage hours for the Cup Series start at noon. Driver introductions for Cup is at 1:05. And the Cup Series race begins at 1:30. You can hear that here on KTC Broadcasting. Tonight, All-Star Heats on FS1 at 7:20 and 8:15. So you'll get to see the big boys in the heat races tonight trying to qualify for the All-Star race for Sunday. We'll flip over that for the folks at home so they can see as well. Then Sunday, garage hours at 1:30. 5:10 are driver introductions. 5:30 is the All-Star Open. Then 17, and then so after the Open and qualifications for that, then they'll reset the track, let the fans on the access on the track, do the introductions and all that fun stuff, and then the actual race supposedly begins at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So on FS1, also here on KTC Broadcasting, brought to you by MRN Radio. Any final thoughts or comment suggestions, fellas, before we get out of here?
Not really.
Let me make sure I didn't have anything else on my Twitter. I feel like I had one more fun thing before we go, but I think I got through everything. Happy Saturday, everybody. Enjoy your weather. Be safe out there. Memorial Day next weekend. We'll talk to you about that and more. Let me make sure I don't have anything else. I feel like maybe I had one more, but I think I took care of it, guys. Yep, that was Michael Jordan, and then the Canadians failing at hockey was the last that I had. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Man, I only do things incredible can.